we're starting the timer. There's a little bit of delay between the stream and when the actual timer is, but they should be pretty okay. So this is going to be really I think this is going to be a really fun ROM, because we haven't done this as much. And it's something I like to devote my time playing a lot. So ERC here is the dev of this, so kudos to him. So right now we're not using the most recent version because of stability issues with the base randomizer. But hopefully we'll be able to get everything fixed and we'll have even more interesting options.
Interestingly, neither of our runners has set Sunday. Yours is set Saturday and ours actually set Monday.
I think Rakura likes to meme, that's why he's also
I think he likes to meme.
So that it's kind of icky.
I think Togepi, Lugia, Venusaur.
Yeah. So I think both of our runners are going to go with the Venusaur.
I think most people would go with the Venusaur. Lugia's probably is quite...
Actually, it looks like Rakura is going with the Togepi, which is a bold choice. But it's going to be interesting.
He's probably banking on the Venusaur not being runnable in the first place, and figuring that he might get a different item. Whoa, that's a nice
Oh my goodness, this is quite a start from him. Elm's Aid has given them both the pass right away. So, you'll notice that normally in your vanilla game, that is a potion. But in today's ROM, that is the train ticket, aka the pass. And Prakura used a repel because he knows that if he gets an encounter before he gets to Cherry Grove, he's most likely going to wipe. So that was kind of an interesting thing because...
Yeah, well it's also a good idea because you can't catch anything at this point, so using a repel here is actually significantly faster if you get one in the first few item locations.
However, the first item they picked up on Route 29 was an Ultra Ball, so they theoretically can now at this point.
Yeah.
Although that's also a female Venusaur, which is quite rare, so that's a 1 out of 8 chance.
One important difference between full item and key item that's useful to also be aware of is that the item pool in full item is actually just the regular item pool in Crystal that's been shuffled around.
Oh yeah.
So as a result, a lot of the items that we're going to see our racers picking up today on the ground are going to be a lot nicer than what we would normally find in a key item race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's very true. And it looks like I didn't quite see what the berry knife had today.
It didn't seem like something useful, but Rakura also just picked up a TM.
Yes, he did pick up a TM. Oh my goodness, that Togepi, if it was anything runnable, that would have been an amazing moveset. Thunderbolt Ice Punch. And we did see Primate explode onto the Venusaur earlier, which was rather unfortunate for Furious, but luckily it survived.
Yeah, Venusaur's pretty bulky actually.
Wait a second. Togepi lived? A cross chop from that Electabuzz. Oh my goodness.
I mean, at this level, actually, it's not even that big a level difference. That is surprising, actually.
I think Togepi is actually rather bulky, which makes sense with my experiences of not being able to kill it one shot.
It's not that. Apparently, it is that bulky. Huh. Right. Well, that's one wipe for Bakura.
Luckily, Lord Bakura bought a bunch of Pokeballs so that he doesn't have to lose money from wiping.
Yeah, he is losing Pokeballs though.
Yeah, but I think he kind of wants to. He might want to see that Electabuzz. I mean, it had Cross Chop. I mean, and Low Kick. But
if I remember right, I think Electabuzz has lower attack than Magmar does.
Well, Magmar's a higher attack base, but yeah, I mean, Electabuzz still has decent attack, but it's definitely not its forte. You definitely would want the Magmar over that.
Yours is just a counter that some people won't get to actually see.
Well, it looks like there's nothing super useful right now that was given, but I'm sure there's more in store coming up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have passed, so
Yeah,
I
so
mean, that gets us
I'd be
a
interested
bit.
to see if our runners decide to pick up a new Pokemon in Kanto.
Yeah, one important thing that's important to remember about Full Item is that in Full Item, the cut tree is not removed from Azalea, so our runners do still need to find Goldenrod access right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there is still a cut back tree. Because of the availability of locations prior to the cut tree, it is still possible to get to Goldenrod with either cut or a squirt bottle. So, you might not, it's not necessarily bottlenecking as it could have been in Kia and Rando had the cut tree not been removed. Oh my goodness, that Tentacruel has teleport.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow,
Did
that's
her catch that?
I didn't actually see what
I
Bakura
think he did.
caught.
Weakened it, but I think he did. Either way, I hope he did. Because
Right now, it looks like he's actually trying to use the Togepi to go ahead.
I don't think the Tentacruel had very many good moves.
Yeah, so teleport is very useful in this sort of run because it lets us warp back to locations. And so if we don't find Fly, that can save a very large amount of time.
We do have our settings with the general early fly. So early fly is kind of has some specific conditions where
Yeah.
you will have it
No, where I
HM
can
and usable before you either take the boat, you go onto Route 44, or go beyond the Snorlax. But that still means it can be in Kanto or be in obscure places. So we have Lord Bakura who's going into Dark Cave. He's actually picking up the item that's accessible here, which is out of logic because you don't have flat. The game never requires you to go into places in the dark.
Without Flash.
Without Flash.
So if this ends up being a progress item, then Bakura will have actually sequence broke the logic.
Although it's just a Carbos. Although, looks like our runners are still trying to look for a new main, and it doesn't seem like either of them found one that they're really satisfied in.
Yeah. That does seem to be the case. I mean, the Venusaur could probably get a fair distance, I would think.
I believe so too.
If you were going to try to rush Kanto, for example.
Oh my goodness! Is that even randomized?
Oh,
Electro just exploded!
I'm not sure it learns it at that level, but it looks like Bakura does have at least one other Pokemon, so he might have the Tentacruel.
I believe he does. So...
We're about to find out
Yes,
it
he
looks
does.
like.
So this is good that they both have Tentacruel.
Both runners have teleport, so we'll be seeing some teleport strats this run.
So that's very good to see. I think he now sees that they have teleport, which he probably didn't check beforehand.
Yeah,
So it's lucky that both of our runners got the teleport Pokemon without it actually using teleport on them.
Yeah. Catching Pokemon with teleport can be a bit of a pain in the ass, because anytime a Pokemon with teleport uses teleport, it immediately flees.
Yeah. Do you happen to know if... I mean, I don't think the Red Gyarados can do it, but do you know if the Electrodes can do it?
They probably can.
Because you can run from them.
I'm not sure why the Red Gyarados would not be able to do it either.
You have to defeat that. Like, if you wipe to the Red Gyarados...
You have to defeat both. You also have to defeat the Electrodes, but I don't understand why they would be unable to use teleport.
Well, I know that if you wipe to the Gyarados, that you have to go back and fight it again.
I've never had it happen, so I don't know.
It's very rare. I think I've only seen it like once.
We've got a Mew over here on Furious's side.
Well, hopefully it's something good, but it looks like both our runners are still going to do. What's really nice though is, because of all the items being shuffled around, you have a lot more TMs at your disposal. So you'll find a lot more of them as you're doing the run.
Yeah, in full item we are going to get a pretty large chunk of the TMs in the game.
Yeah,
And that means that it's a lot easier to end up with a pretty good main at the end of the race.
so it makes it easier to build a main, as I like to say. So, Lord Recurrent has a Snorlax, which is actually a really good Pokemon, despite it being slow. It's very bulky, and it does hit hard.
Yeah, in
We'll
fact,
see if he's gonna stick with it or find something else.
yeah, about
Oh,
90%.
Wow, that was really good.
That's decent, yeah. Yeah, about 90% of competitive Gen 2 teams contain a Snorlax. The only issue is that in a race it is very slow, so you are going to lose some time due to your opponents going ahead of you.
And you're potentially getting status, because we know how the AI likes to do it. It loves to use status moves on you.
Yep.
So, one of the things we will be seeing probably our runners doing shortly is checking the runes of Alpha Chamber. They may be checking it before or after Scrap Tower, but there are 3
They have
runes
no
of Alpha
money.
Chambers.
They're gonna, yeah, I think they're gonna check it now because they picked up a Cargos, so they have plenty of money.
Yeah, so there are 3 of the chambers that are in Logic. So this one you're required to use an escape rope on, and then there's a flash chamber and a waterstone chamber. So you're not actually required to do the puzzle, but you have to do the specific actions to get something. And wow, let's go bicycle.
Yep, that's
And the
nice.
machine part.
That's
Wow.
one bully item out of the way.
So we have
Yeah.
our key items in our way. So you want to talk about which items are required?
Yeah, so to beat the game, we need to be able to get to Kanto, so we need either the boat or the pass. We need a way to get around the Sudowoodo. That either means that we need to find the squirt bottle, or that we need to get both the pass and the boat ticket, in which case we can just sort of take the boat and get around the Sudowoodo. We need the card key, because we need to be able to beat Radio Tower, so that we can get to Claire. We need the machine part, so that we can wake Snorlax and get to the western half of Kanto. And we need several HMs. We need Cut, specifically we need Cut, Surf, and Strength. And if you don't know how to do Dark Rooms, you also need a Flash. In addition to these, we also need the Secret Potion, which we need to get to Olive, or Jasmine.
Yeah,
Always mix it up.
sometimes, as you'll see, sometimes a requirement, because of how the items are laid out, you may also be required to have either Whirlpool or Waterfall, or both of them.
Yeah, one important difference between full item and key item is that, so this tracker is organized for key item. And so that second row is in key item are the items that unlock items. In full item, there are more items that do that. Specifically, the mystery egg and the red scale both also unlock item locations. And as Novar's noting, we might have to use waterfall or whirlpool to get into areas that are locked by those HMs.
So I like that Snorlax. It actually had a really good moveset as well. It had, I think, at least
I didn't
one
quite
ring
see it.
and Mega Kick, which is very, very
That is
fun.
a very, very good one.
And their strength already, oh my goodness. So that's stat strength.
Yeah, that's extremely good.
So for those kind of newish to Pokemon, using the same type of attack bonuses gives you 1.5 times the damage. Oh wow, /2.
And Trisander, to answer your question, yes, the goal of this race is to beat Red.
Yes, it is indeed to beat Red, and so they're going to be getting all 16 gym badges and defeating the champion as well.
Yes. In full item, there is an option, which is actually on by default, that lets you skip to fighting the E4 before you actually have to fight Red. But our runners have decided to turn off that setting for this race. So they will be fighting E4.
Yes, so there will be all the fights done. So it looks like both of them are now just heading up to Scrap Tower, which is good. At least to get levels and, of course, get some of the key items. So there's a lot of item locations and places that you don't normally go to when you're doing playing normally, but when you're doing full item rando, you really learn to explore. Namely, Mount Mortar and Royal Island. Those are really kind of the, the the two places that I think most people dread going into, especially Mount Mortar, because there are waterfall locked location, and
I would
there
say
are so
that
many items that are people willing to or skip unintentionally.
yeah, well, Mortar's not that bad. I think most people usually are more worried about Whirl, because, I mean, almost, I don't basically know, as far as I'm aware, pretty much all types of crystal races pretty much avoid the Whirl like the plague.
Oh, absolutely.
Though it's actually not.
The only time they do it is go to the Suicune. Yeah, not sorry, the Lugia, if they want to do that at all.
Yeah, it is. However, our runners today are familiar with the routes for Whirl, which is important because it's actually not that slow to do. But but of course, we have to actually find Whirlpool first, and it can be essentially anywhere in the game, and that includes potentially even being in Mount Silver. In which case, there obviously won't be any progress items in Whirl.
Although my favorite potentially troll-like location is Flash in the house right before Mount Silver. That's the absolute latest place Flash can be in the game. Although at that point, you probably don't need Flash for going through the first room in Mount Silver, but it's there.
Yeah, our runners today are pretty good at relatively good at doing dark rooms. I don't think either of them is probably going to try to pick up the items within dark rooms without Flash. But we'll see.
I did, prior to putting the stream online, Sirius was actually practicing Rock Tunnel in the dark. And I believe he was also practicing getting the items too, so...
Well, I might see something interesting.
We'll see if he shows it off in the race,
But one important thing to remember is that, even if you figure out how to do everything in the dark without Flash, Snover mentioned earlier that one of the runes of Alp Chambers requires Flash. So you can still be required to and that actually does require you to use Flash. So you can still get required, even if you can skip all the sections in the dark, you still could be required to actually obtain Flash to beat the game, if there's something in the location.
So it's interesting that Furious is running with that Venusaur. I mean, his Mew fainted, and it looks like he never revived or tried to, because it was so low level. It's hard to get it to grow levels, especially since it's legendary, so it gets a slower experience curve compared to everything else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, with Strength, that's a decent move for Venusaur, and he does have the pass, so he knows that he will be able to get to Kanto, and he can try to find a much stronger main by trying to catch a Pokemon on Cycling Road. Because on that particular route, you can catch Pokemon that are around level 30 or so.
It looks like they both had I apologize, I'm being a little slow with the tracking.
Okay, so that's another thing, so it looks like
Bakura is not entirely happy with his Snorlax.
I mean, it is not fast. Snorlax has base 30 speed, and that means that you're going to lose a fair bit of time just because the AI is going to go first, and that takes up time. Because you save a lot of time if you just kill the AI's Pokemon before it actually gets to use a move. The Old Rod is a nice item to find also in this because obviously it lets us catch level 10 Pokemon, so finding it at this early means that we can catch something stronger than we normally have.
Yeah, actually, so I have what's called semi-progressive rod balls. So generally, you're gonna find rods in, you'll generally find the rods in kind of increasing strength orders. But of course, even with that setting, that doesn't stop you from necessarily getting the super rod or good rod before the old rod. In fact, ERC knows that from a recent race, actually.
Yes. The point of semi-progressive rods is that basically the randomizer makes a sort of very loose attempt to place the rods in order of power, which mainly matters so that the super rod doesn't show up very early, because then we would be jumping straight to level 40 Pokemon, and we could be doing it this early in the game.
Yeah, when you jump to such strong Pokemon so early in the game, it really cuts down on the time, but also kind of reduces the difficulty and might reduce some of the enjoyment as well. But I've found that either way, I'm okay with either way. But it's always good to see something new.
And I mean that setting can be turned off if you want to have an early super rod. So it looks like Bakura is starting Falconer now.
And Furious, I think, is going to be doing that soon too.
Yeah, he's just entering the. He's doing some shopping first.
He was running low on potions, so he's making sure to stock up.
So Scizor. with stab fighting, or not, sorry, with a super effective fighting move. Scissors not a fighting thing.
No, it's not. But it does have base 130 attack, which is...
It does.
Which is... means you're gonna be in a lot of pain.
Yeah. So it's interesting actually because Bakura has potions, but actually because Snorlax's HP is so high, potions are actually not going to be that effective on that.
In fact, I don't think super potions are going to be as effective soon either.
Yeah.
Since you can't go fully heal it with a super potion.
Yeah, and it looks like our first badge is the Cascade badge.
Yeah.
I didn't see what TM31 was. But it's important to note. But it's important to note that we did not that Falconer did not give us TM31. He gave us an item.
Yeah, but they legitimately still do preview what their TMs are, so you know that there is something out there and with that.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing to note is that with the full item randomizer, you actually can turn in the mystery egg, and when you turn in the mystery egg, the egg will give you 5 of an item.
Yes.
So it can be of any item, including a key item. Although if you get 5 of the key item, obviously the game recognizes that, hey, you can only have one of these items, so it doesn't include it. But
Okay.
you can have
That was basement key. Yeah, you saw it. Okay, you saw it. Yeah, basement key on Bakura. That's not an item we like to see at this point.
I don't know. I generally am okay with seeing it.
Well, like the thing is, it's like if it shows up this early though, that could mean squirt bottles in basement.
I thought it couldn't be.
I mean, we have pass, so.
Oh right. It could be, yeah.
The reason we're worried about the basement is mainly because there's a rival fight in basement, and if Bakura's actually still looking for
So I did not see what the TM was this time. I know
it's nice. TM31 is minimized. Whoa. There's Raikou on
had Iron Tail, so it's good to see it's a Raikou, and if it has any special moves, it'll be really good to have. It looks like both our runners are really not super enthralled with what they're running.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be either.
Well, it had some item. Huh, I wonder what that hidden power is. Sorry, a little bit of a hiccup on the
Yeah, the stream lagged for me for a second, so I didn't see its moveset.
It's got hidden power, mega drain. Oh, he just tossed strength over hidden power. Guess he doesn't want to find out what it is.
That could be a mistake. I mean, if it's a special hidden power, it could be good on Raikou. The thing about hidden power, of course, being that its power is based off your DBs, which are a set of values that are random for each Pokemon and determine how good your stats are. If you have good stats, hidden power will have a high power, potentially up to 70. Of course, just found cut as a side note.
Yes, I have that updated.
Yeah. However, if your Pokemon doesn't have good DVs, its power could be very low. In which case it's... Yeah. I think it actually can go lower than 40 in this gen. The problem, of course, being that you don't know. And on top of that, the type of hidden power depends on those as well, so you don't know what type it is either.
Yeah, so typing specifically is based off of your attack and your defense combination. And it kind of repeats itself. The only typing it cannot be is normal type.
Yeah. So I guess Bakura probably just doesn't want to have to deal with figuring out what it actually is.
I mean, I can understand that. Although, to be honest, I would have tried to find out what it was because
I would have probably.
It would have been a hidden power electric.
Yeah, like hidden power electric, or even any of the special hidden powers. I mean, Raikou's special attack is very high.
So yes, we have cut item. We have a lot of our good items showing up, which is always good to see. Although, I'm wondering, where is the Snow Bear Troll part coming in?
He'll probably come on. I mean, I wouldn't call these I wouldn't call these that good either. I mean, we have cut, so there's a decent chance that Bugsy has Vanilla Hive Badge, or he'll just hand us the Squirt Bottle and troll us. It'll be one of the two.
I mean, there could also be the Rising Badge and be given it from Elm. That's happened to me numerous times. It's my least favorite version to find.
Yeah, so the situation that Snowbear is talking about is if you get the Rising Badge, you can actually get the item that is originally the Master Ball. Which involves backtracking all the way back to Elm.
Although it looks like the Ray Cow learned Blizzard, which is really good to see.
It's good to see, but it is a bit inaccurate.
I mean, I think that's a little bit of an understatement, but yes.
I mean, 70% of the time it works every time.
Exactly. Huh, that Quillfish sketch strength.
I think my stream is a little bit behind yours actually right now though.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little bit ahead.
Let me just refresh them.
So overall, most of the teams our runners have picked up so far not been that helpful.
Yeah, before I rolled every single TM that he found.
Both of our runners did.
Yeah. Looks like the core picked up Flash.
Yes, that was in Slowpoke Well.
Okay.
I think you missed it while it was refreshing.
Yeah, most likely did. So Flash is nice to see. Maybe our runners won't be doing dark rooms then. That does depend on finding the Zephyr Badge. One important...
Sorry, you cut yourself out there.
I need to get some water. One important difference between Pokemon item randomizers and a lot of other ones is that in Pokemon, you use any of the HMs, you actually need to have the corresponding badge. So even though we have 3 HMs right now, we actually can't use any of them, because to use Flash, we need the Zephyr Badge, to use Cut, we need the Hive Badge, and to use Strength, we need the Plain Badge.
Yeah, in addition, there's also the... If you were to do a traded Pokemon, or use a Pokemon that's not under your trainer ID, you still have to worry about obedience. Oh, Berkura almost forgot the item from Kurt.
Yeah, that would have been bad to get, but it's just some money.
But yeah, so what's kind of interesting is that if you gotta keep that in mind, if you are ever, for example, checking Kenya or any of the traded Pokemon.
Yeah, if you end up running a traded Pokemon, you need to be careful, because if you don't get it, there is a disobedience mechanic if your Pokemon gets too high level.
And you'll only 4 of the badges deal with obedience. The Hive Badge, the Fog Badge, the Storm Badge, and the Rising Badge.
Yeah.
Where the cuts are 30, 50, 70, and of course all levels. So that's 4 out of 16, which means that it can be kind of hard to get. Hard to...
Yeah. Usually we don't end up running traded Pokemon though. Because the main one that we would often see people run is Kenya, which is originally a spear you get as a gift, but in Full Item Rando there are actually 2 items associated with that quest. So if you actually want to run Kenya, you actually have to take the mail off and put it on a different Pokemon.
I don't think our runners would probably switch to Kenya at this point. You never
know.
Double
it could be Mewtwo.
Does pay off a lot, but I don't think...
I mean, it could be Mewtwo Snowbear.
It could be. It very well could be.
But it wouldn't surprise me if our runners try to do a main switch when they get to Goldenrod, because they have access to Psychic Growth. and that means they can catch a level 30 Pokemon, which is obviously going to be a huge increase in power.
Absolutely. And it looks like they're probably going to have access to Cut as well, so they can access not just that cycling road route, but they can also access the route above it, which has Pokemon that are almost as good as well.
Yeah.
Having
One
to deal with
bad thing
boring
about that
issues.
though is that it means that Squirt Bottle could be locked by Kanto.
It's quite
So
possible.
one difference between this and Geddon is that like if you get early Kanto in this, you might actually be forced to do some of the gyms. Because you might need to get one of the badges. You might need to get one of the badges from the gym leaders that's needed to access an item location that might complete something like say Squirt Bottle.
But I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a good run. Oh, and there's a Hive badge. Oh, sorry. A little bit soon.
Okay. Yeah, it just means I'm liking it. Yeah, so that's high badge, so we can now use Cut. I think Bugsy said his TM wasn't tracked.
That's not a good sign to see at all.
I mean, it's a TM in the vanilla game, but it's Whitney's TM.
Yeah. That is true. But I am happy though to see both of our runners running different Pokemon. Although I would have hoped that you guys tried a little harder to get that Mew working, because it seems like that Mew would have done really well.
I mean, the flip side though is that, I mean, again, we have Pass, we can get something in Kanto.
I hope our runners do.
It looks like the core is getting trolled by this Quagsire.
Yeah, it looks like the Roar has been controlling both our runners though. Because Recur got roared earlier, and
Well, it's so bad. It has Spite.
yeah, that Quagsire definitely had Spite.
Core just ran out of he just ran out of strength, and yeah.
Yeah, the AI is really weird because the trainers will know what move you're using before.
The AI, as far as like the AI, mostly just seems to pick random moves.
But
there's some reason to level reasoning to it, but
what I've
often
noticed is that if the AI can reduce your move PP to 0, it will use Spite.
because Spite may not actually succeed and do that.
I think it's especially prevalent on gym trainers and anything that any of them that have the smart AI.
Yes. I'm actually not sure if Rival has the smart AI or not, though.
I'm pretty sure he does. He's supposed to be a challenge. Well, I have no idea which trainers have which, so I could be spouting random nonsense.
I mean, I don't either, and I've actually looked at that part of this assembly before.
What I really like about full items is the amount of times you get all the ethers and elixirs and PP ups. As you saw here, got the PP up. So, because it's, as ERC mentioned, it's a shuffle, there's actually a lot of those in the pool. And there are also a lot of Ultra Balls. Too many Ultra Balls.
Yeah, but the PP restoration items are important because that means that our racers can avoid doing Pokemon Centers. Because obviously the healing animation in the Pokemon Center does take a fair bit of time. So it is faster if we can just skip it and heal with items instead. And if they want to get special, and actually in particular, both our racers do have teleport. So we haven't seen any teleport strats yet. But this can actually be sort of used further because what teleport does is it sends you back to your last Pokemon Center. So if our racers manipulate that correctly, they can save a lot of time by using that move to sort of skip a large portion of distance.
Yeah, it's especially good that they have the pass rather than the SS ticket, because the SS ticket will actually reset your, because you go on the in the bed, or
The-
you get kind of heal. It
It's-
sets it
the
to the
boat,
next port.
the boat changes your last center because otherwise you would be like stranded in the other region.
Right. So yeah, and here's another
like-
interesting part. So this is something that our racers are going to show off, and that's going to be how to get the items in the Goldenrod Market basement.
Which involves going up and down the elevator.
Oh, that's a tri-attack, fire punch, and icy wind.
It's not. Yes, Nova, you're definitely ahead.
Oh, sorry.
It's just, I mean, I guess my turn.
Oh, my bad. I could have, but those are some really, those are actually
Those
really
are
good
some
TMs to see.
really nice TMs.
I mean,
Interesting
obviously
that
tri-attack's not as nice, but
I mean, it is actually better. Actually, maybe it isn't better than Surf because you do lose some time when it statuses something.
well, it has less PP than strength and the same power. So, Bakura
Yeah.
is going up and down the elevator. He's going to be doing it a total of 3 times. Because the boxes move in a cycle, and that's the thing that's the most confusing, especially for newer runners. Because generally, when you're playing the game, you're only going to the basement maybe once or twice. So you have to kind of reset the cycle. And that, I think, threw me off, at least the first few times I was doing these as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely probably one of the weirdest item locations in Crystal because you pretty much just have to go up and down the elevator to sort of cycle it.
Yeah, so as you saw, the second time cycle, it was to get the item in the bottom right, and then on the third cycle, it's to get the item on the left side. The item in the top right is actually locked by the basement key.
The core just picked up Fly. That's good to see. Fly lets us move between essentially lets us move between towns, so it's a very nice item to find. However, we do need to find the Storm badge to use it.
It looks like Bakura is going to do one more time into the store, and he's going to go to the 4th floor to pick up the Water Stone. So generally, you're going to always want to buy that Water Stone because of the Ruins of Valve Chamber. And what I found out just yesterday, it was just yesterday, was that you don't actually have to have it for it to trigger. You have to have it in your inventory, or it could be held by one of your Pokemon. It seems like so.
I think we may need to do some more testing to figure out if that actually works. But that was certainly interesting to see.
I honestly didn't expect it. I thought it had to be in your inventory directly. So, it's good to know. And our racers will be picking up, of course, the raid card and expansion pass because you do have to wake up the Snorlax.
We do not shuffle the location of those cards yet. In the future. Ooh, that's the secret potion as well. River Core.
That's really good because secret potion can be almost anywhere. It actually just cannot be the item given to you by Jasmine or in the area by Mount Silver. But other than that, it can be almost anywhere. So it's kind of what it was always kind of referred to as kind of like an ice rod for
Yeah, so
Link
this
to
is
the
pretty
Past.
good. This is overall pretty good for our runners, though. They're actually just 3 items off Goma,
Oh,
and it's only 38 minutes in.
a little bit more, but yeah, it's just 3 items away, so that's very good to see.
This is also one of the ways that full item differs a bit from key items. In full items, sometimes you can get ridiculously fast seeds where essentially you get, because there's more item locations early than in key item, you could end up with a lot more key items than you would normally have. Though sometimes that doesn't happen. But yeah, this is a pretty good start. The one big thing that our runners are missing is Surf.
Yeah, so Surf locks
Surf
a lot of items.
Yeah. Surf is without question the thing that lost the most items in this. And we don't have the fog badge either.
No. Nor do we have the Storm Badge to take advantage of the fly. But yeah. Looks like Fierce Magic sold his PP. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
keep using elixirs and going to the center, or going to the center.
They are worth 4,900 though, so I mean it can be a tough decision to sell, but it can be worth doing.
Absolutely. It's also nice that the amount of the availability of rare candies, I think we have at least 1 or 2 for each of our runners at this point.
Yeah, that's also important because at this point it looks like we're probably going to be doing early Kanto. And that most likely means that we may be taking on 1 or 2 of the Kanto gym leaders.
Looks like
Core's on CD right now.
too bad right now for Berkera. Although that Arcana seems to give him a little bit of a beat.
Well, let's see what 20 is. Okay, yeah. Whitney's not too bad. Yeah, it looks like there hasn't been too much EXP though, in this realm so far.
Wait,
And that's Marsh bad.
give TM45 there. Wow.
Wow, what kind of rando? That is actually the Whitney's vanilla TM.
Hello.
Except that it's Zap. Zap Cannon is a TM in the original game as well.
Yes,
It's just
TM.
not that TM. So I think that these 2 TMs that are originally TMs. They're just different numbers.
That's pretty
Which
funny, actually.
we should note at this point that which move is which TM is which move each TM gives you is actually randomized.
Yeah, so amongst the other things, as you see, our Pokemon have randomized movesets. Our Puck have randomized moves, and he's teaching it.
Yeah, I mean, it's stab. I mean, it's...
Yes. I mean, he does have full coverage now of Pokemon with Ice, Fire, and Light, and Electric.
It's just not consistent. I mean, he can always use an X accuracy also to make it perfect accuracy.
Yeah, although I don't think he bought it, to be honest.
I don't think he has. I mean, he has... Blizzard Zap... Though I think Bakura might want to if he's going to stick with this, because he's got Blizzard Zap Cannon, and neither of those are very accurate moves.
So one of the things ERC did is you could actually do the contest and get the items, because the...
Of course, it's Monday, though.
Right. The contest items are actually different than the park items, but...
It's just a thing in that game. It works now, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, so it's not too worried about. So these 2 items you can get while you're in the contest, but you still have to be out of the contest to get the item from the quick.
To get the quick claw item, yeah.
Oh, TM50 belly drum.
So I like what Fierce is doing here, because what he's doing is he's getting quick claw and then he's doing contest. And so by doing this, yeah, and so by doing this, his key is that he'll quit out of the contest after he picks up the Dig TM, which requires sort of going in this sort of behind the fence segment and then like traveling a pretty long distance. So it will be faster to do this than just walking.
I actually like what Bakura did, which was just teleport out. Because he got the item.
Bakura might have been a lot smarter. Well, the thing is though, because Bakura fought that trainer. But what Fierce is going to do is he's going to use Cut from here, and then go down and pick up the item. By doing that, he's going to actually skip that trainer fight.
Oh, looks like Bakura also sold the PP ups.
Interesting.
Oh. Curious reset? Oh. So he did.
Okay, yeah, he's resetting. This is technically actually a little slower than teleport. But it's also a perfectly valid strategy.
Absolutely, no. This is really interesting. Bakura's very good use out of the teleport, and knowing that he last centered on Route 32. Because he already checked the cut item on Route 32.
Yeah.
He checked returning in Kenya, and then for those who aren't aware, there's actually an item that you get from after you turned in Kenya from the guard who gave you Kenya. I don't remember what he normally gives you.
Well, Yerbakor is maybe getting a little punished though now, because he's gonna have to go through Union again and through Ilex again to get back to Goldenrod.
Yeah, but I don't remember what item the guard gives you for turning in Kenya. I honestly don't remember.
I think it's an elixir, a max elixir, or an elixir. I didn't see what Furious is in Saffron right now.
Yes, and he's
I don't think I saw what he...
He's checked the old fighting gym.
Yeah, I didn't see what he got there.
He got a... It wasn't anything important.
Okay.
I don't remember specifically, but I don't think he actually picked it up. And then he's checking
Has Furious not done Whitney?
Hmm?
Has Furious not done Whitney yet?
I need to double check. No, he has not done Whitney.
Okay, so he's definitely probably planning on doing a main switch.
Looks like it. Although it looks like he's also gonna probably grab that leftover. Oh. Speaking of elixirs, asking you should receive.
Yeah. Due to a weird quirk, the leftovers is not randomized because it's a hidden item. But for some reason, the Universal Pokemon Randomizer does not shuffle this particular hidden item, so it is always a leftovers.
I thought it was like I suppose like an NPC thing, but I don't know. Although to be honest, I like that it's not randomized. It makes things.
It is a nice safety item to have. It makes the number of things a bit easier. Leftovers gives you HP every turn after you simply do anything, so that healing can be very, very useful.
I know it saved my butt several times. And then it looks like there's only looks like an Omnite for Furious Magic, and doesn't seem like.
Well, I mean, there's more slots here than just the Omnite.
Oh, right, and it looks like there was that Steelix too. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that they don't have Sweet Scent to generate the counters quickly because the Sweet Scent Girl gives something different. I actually don't remember what the Sweet Scent Girl gave.
It wasn't a useful item.
I don't think it was. Oh, and there's the bike shop. Although, Kurt is in Kanto right now. the joke is that the bike shop's calling. Normally, the bike shop's calling. He's like, "Oh yeah, thank you for advertising." Although, the joke with my friends is that the bike shop wants the bike back, but can't give the bike back. We're in Kanto. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not looking like Fierce is seeing anything good. It looks like Makora is probably doing the same exact thing too.
It looks like
I can't blame him. It looks like he's checking DMs. That's probably a good idea.
There were three that could have been good. There was one that was Confusion, which is Dizzy Punch, High Crit, Air Blast, and then there's Fire Blast, which is Burn.
Oh, is it actually Fire Blast?
Yes, it's Fire Blast.
Funny,
Sorry,
that means we have all the inaccurate moves. There is a Belly Drum TM.
Yes.
That's interesting because Belly Drum is a very interesting move since what it does is you lose half your HP and then it gives you +6 attack, which will quadruple your damage when using a physical attacking type.
Yeah. Looks like both of our runners are trying to check in this location.
Ooh, that Flappy looks pretty nice actually.
Well, with the level 33, it'll evolve, which is very handy.
Yeah, and it has Psychic, which is a very nice high power move.
Oh, it had Psychic. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Empress is a pretty good Pokemon.
I think so too. It's actually Arrow's favorite Pokemon. If he's still in there in the chat.
Yeah, Thunder Shock, so it has Stab, and on top of that we have Fire Punch. This is a very nice Empress.
Although I believe it evolves at 36, so that's why Furious is not giving.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I thought it was 30 something, but I forgot. No, it's 36.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Although
It's evolving
I
now.
think it's 30 actually.
It is 30. That makes sense.
So, very good choice.
Yeah, so we'll see if Bakura finds the same thing. It wouldn't surprise me if he just decides to go with the rake out.
I mean, the rake out is still pretty strong. It just needs a little bit of help.
And yes,
And
Tricender, your Gyros is definitely one of the slower electric types.
Unfortunate. Although I guess the 30
I mean,
is the rare slot, so.
I mean, that's like the only decent thing on this route. Unless like Ammonite is like secretly like insane.
Wait. That, because the Flappy that Furious found was only 33. The Flappy that Bakura found was 32. Although you chose to run away from it. I'm wondering if there were two Pokemon.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Bakura is running away, because I mean, if you think about it, he has a breakout, and I mean, most people would think it's better than Ampharos, but he doesn't know that that Flappy actually has some good moves. But both our racers are using electric types, so they will both be having trouble. Oh, interesting. Of course, checking here.
Did I see wrong that the Flappy was 33 or 32?
It was 33. And this is an interesting choice by Bakura. There's an Ampharos.
Yeah. Oh wait, you just found that on the other route too.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny.
So it looks like Bakura might wipe here. Unless he's getting involved.
Okay.
This doesn't look like a very good Ampharos.
That's really weird that the Flaffy on that route was two different levels.
I don't know how slots work in this game. Something important to note about how the Universal Pokemon Randomizer works is that evolved Pokemon have a completely different moveset than their pre-evolved Pokemon. So, like, you see this here in that Bakura's Ampharos has not so good moves. Whereas Furious's Flappy had a different level of move pool and thus a much better moveset. That's a Lapras.
Yeah, I probably would have that Lapras then. Oh, looks like Furious got the Storm badge. So he is definitely in good shape here.
Yeah, that's a really nice thing to find. Particularly because it means that our runners are not biking back up Cycling Road. Though in this case they might actually instead go, they would have probably gone to the right. They still might do that actually.
Looks like Furious is
because
actually
there are
right
some items.
now.
Yeah, because there are items to the right of Fuchsia. This is so we do want to pick these up. The main thing is that they're all left by cut.
Yeah, well,
So in general, we don't want to go here unless we have cut, especially since leading Fuchsia this way without cut involves fighting 3 trainers. But if you have cut, you can actually skip 2 of them.
well, I think generally if you're doing the check that, you probably only check with that one item there. Right? You're gonna check that, so you actually go down from left and you don't actually have to fight any trainers.
Yeah, with Fly, it's probably faster to do that.
I think it just in general it is, but... Oh yeah, it looks like Bakura's kind of checking around, seeing if he can have anything runnable.
Yeah, so he's using
Didn't
time
see
here.
that,
Yeah, Bakura is. It is important to remember that Bakura is right now a badge ahead of Furious though.
well, that'll be recognized soon, it seems like, yeah. I'm wondering where that sport
Does Golbat evolve by level still, or
happiness.
It's still happiness, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if you caught it with a friend ball. Otherwise...
It did, but
Oh.
it's a Golbat.
Right. But if you catch it in a friend ball, the friend ball gives you 200 happiness to start with, rather than your base 70. So it makes happiness evolutions much quicker.
So it looks like Avocado is going to go with that with Belly Drum Pro got done. I mean, it's not bad.
I'd be nervous to teach a belly jump, to be honest, because Golbat
You
doesn't
already
have
did.
that much,
Attack?
well, it doesn't have that much HP. It's got decent enough attack, but
Its defense is not that bad, actually.
But yeah, it's definitely something different. And this is why I like full item randos, because it's completely unique and there are so many locations you can check almost anywhere. I do
Yeah, so it
wonder
looks
if Furious
like
kept teleport on 10
he did. He kept it.
It's useful. There's, in general, one thing it's more useful on than anything else, and that's, if you don't have a machine part, you can set your teleport part to that Pokemon Center next to the power plant, and just instantly teleport there. But since they have the machine part, they're only going to do one trip there anyway.
Yep.
So there's really not a benefit to teleporting at the moment.
Before just kill the Felicity. Bakor's doing Nugget Head Miss right now, which is probably a good call because he's gonna get some EXP.
Seems like you got a lot with the chain of level 35 Blitz in there.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, Skarmory with spikes?
Kind of random.
Oh no, and then Charm, uh-oh. That's a -2 attack.
I mean, Rollout will eventually reach enough power to finish it.
Yeah, no worries. Looks like
I'm
Furious...
surprised Bakora hasn't given Golbat the leftovers.
I don't know. That is something. But I think a lot of the people who are racers don't like equipping leftovers because there's a tech there and it's, you know,
It does technically make the fight slower, but I mean, the flip side is that if you avoid using, if it makes you avoid using potions, you're saving some time in menus.
Right, I mean, it kind of has its trade-offs.
Yeah. And it looks like Furious is going to be doing Surge, so we'll get to see how difficult Surge is to fight.
Well, first he's gonna have to defeat something even stronger.
I'm still a little behind, so I haven't let's see, it's... Ah, yes. Good old Mewtwo.
Sorry, I keep forgetting
unquestionably
I'm so ahead. I'm a little bit further ahead than you.
Yeah, Mewtwo is unquestionably the strongest Pokemon in Gen 2. And was that Bone Rush?
Yes, that was Bone Rush. He said nope.
Fortunately, you can fight the other trainer.
He does have 4 Pokemon, but you can
Yeah.
fight those guys.
So as long as this isn't 4 Mewtwo's... Actually, actually the Chansey is nice here. Actually, wait, no, the Chansey isn't nice. So Furious has no... So Chansey has very, very high special defense, and it has nearly the maximum possible HP that's allowable.
It also used Leaf Seed on him.
And these things are a problem because, due to these reasons, Chansey and Blissey are slightly invulnerable to special attacks.
Let's say more than Chansey, but yeah. Although they give lots of experience though, so it is rewarding.
Ah, it's another Mewtwo! What a surprise! Fortunately,
a little bit more easy to do. It's level 33, not 30. It's a slight difference.
nope, still has it.
Okay, Mewtwo. Definitely.
But does Furious have max revive?
He has a revive.
Regular. He has regular ones.
Oof.
Yeah, that's interesting. Both trainers have one. I maybe would have thought about healing first here, because I think that might kill. And it does.
Yeah.
I think he would have been. So I think he's probably gonna still do it. He's squeaking. I think he probably could have made it past that if he did. If he actually used a. If he'd actually healed up before sending it in.
Probably. I mean, he got unlucky that it did 4 attacks. Because
That's
Bone
true,
Rush
but...
can attack 2 to 5 times. easier to access them.
It's a lot easier. If you apply, it's faster to get these from lab 3.
I mean, I think in general, even if you don't have fly, it's one of the things I would check with cut. Although there's one more. There is one more that's blocked by surface level.
Yes. My bet is that Fierce is also probably going to try to check the rock tunnel. Because right now that's where probably the most checks are. It's that, or right now it's either probably that or basement.
Looks like, I mean, I'm a little bit ahead of you, but looks like the fan just flew out, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the basement now, because that's where...
I don't know, I'll be honest.
He's
flying around a lot, so from what it looks like, I think he's gonna do Eric's gym first. Since Surge is blocked by the Mewtwo's.
Yeah.
Which I think is the first thing. He's gonna check to see if there's any good TMs.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
And
gonna
it's
be
not
anything he wants, but...
he's already checked TMs.
I don't think he checked the TMs here.
That's how he got fired. You're right, actually, yeah, he hasn't. I don't think there's anything good here, though.
Not that he would want. I would take Fire Punch over Fire Blast.
I think the more likely thing is going to be trying to get those X items.
Yes. Oh.
Because, like, X defense in particular would have probably helped a lot with that Mewtwo.
Well, it looks like he's stocking up on healing items. And, Pakura, see, shows off the quick tech. So, after you defeat those 5 guys, there is that one last one who normally gives you a nugget, but you can say it before him, because he gives you the item before he fights you. But what's interesting is, actually, if your bag is full and he can't give you the item, he will not fight you until you open a spot in your bag.
And it still tells you what item it is. Which is useful, because that means that if it's not a progress item, you can skip the fight. But he could also just give you an Ultra Ball, in which case you'd be fighting him. So the save reset strat is probably the most consistent there.
Oh no, absolutely. But I still like to have a full bag before fighting him.
Yeah, I usually do as well. And it looks like Erica's gym is not filled with Mewtwo's.
Not filled with Mewtwo's yet.
Yeah.
We have kind of a running joke that Surge is kind of a strong person, but I think in this case, I think the trainers before him are stronger than he is.
Yeah, those are definitely some interesting trainers this time around. Bakura's probably going to have a very easy time with that, though, because as long as he has Crobat by that point, Crobat will outspeed, unless the Mewtwo also has Psychic.
I wonder if Bakura is going to try to increase the happiness by feeding him vitamins he sees.
It looked like he was selling them. That would actually be a good idea to do. I forget what the threshold is for Crobat. The main thing he needs to avoid is having Crobat faint, because you lose happiness whenever that occurs.
Is it half? I thought it was only like 10. I don't think it's that much you lose from the fainting.
It's more that if you're losing it, he doesn't want to be losing happiness.
Yes, you definitely do not want to be losing happiness. And a happiness, I think from happiness evolution, you need to have 250. So do you need to have max happiness for happiness?
I think it may vary depending on which one it is.
Because it looks like, I think it's probably happiness.
So Fierce is definitely in the lead right now, but I mean, if before it gets to Surge before him, and Surge has a progress badge, that would be a big thing for him.
Absolutely. I mean, I think right now it's still wide open, and there's plenty of time for different.
Yeah. No, there's many, because there's so many item locations in this item, it's quite easy to essentially check something that your opponent hasn't checked and get ahead. So, I mean, Furious isn't really that far ahead at this point.
Erica's going to not being too much of an issue there for Furious.
Yeah. And that's good to see. She can often be one of the scarier cheerleaders in Kanto. She's also one of the better ones to fight because she actually has a hidden item.
She does. She and Janine are the two cheerleaders that give you a TM.
Wow, that Beach will survive. That's really surprising.
Yeah. Wait. Did she actually? No, I don't think she actually gets labeled that.
I'll see in a moment if she's not behind.
That's not even randomized.
Alright, we've had 2 vanilla badges so far, because Bugsy was Hive, and Erica has been Rainbow.
I mean, the chances of Bugsy having a high badge are significantly higher than
They are a bit higher.
But that is true. It looks like Furious is going to the basement. So here's the deal with the full item random, that you can get all the items in the basement before it's 7 badges. And if you do it before 7 badges, none of the rockets will be there. I mean, obviously Rival 3 will still, or Rival 4 will still be there, but... Although I think that got changed, though, with the most recent...
With V7, the False Director will still require you to trigger the rocket takeover of Radio Tower. The rest of the items can still be obtained, though. So like, you can still go in there early and get everything except that item location. Looks like Recordo's running into some trouble.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
minimize...
we know
Double
that.
team, did I see?
Yeah, it looks like yes. I think we know this all actually because we saw it on Furious.
Oh, goodness. Luckily, he gets through with not too much issue.
Well, Recordo doesn't have any X accuracy. This is the real problem.
Yeah, X accuracy in this game are really strong because it bypasses the accuracy check.
Yeah, it's kind of silly actually if you think about it. If you use an X accuracy, you just don't miss ever.
Yep.
Which is quite nice.
I appreciate it. It means you don't have to prepare beforehand. And Burger finally gets his badge, so I'm sure he's gonna be very happy to do that.
Yeah, but he might think he's a little bit behind.
I mean,
He has to take a bit of time getting here.
But yeah.
And Golbat still hasn't evolved.
I don't know what he's happening with that, but he's gonna keep running it.
Yeah, I think before it did teach over teleport.
He did. And I don't think that's gonna be a problem because they have machine parts.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Looks like Makura's going to the basement as well. So. Good
yeah,
luck.
I mean, it's a good play because there's a lot of items here. I mean, it's either basically doing this or doing Rocket Colony. Oh wait, no, we can't do Rocket Colony if we don't have the Zephyr badge. Yeah, so this is arguably the best check that we can do right now.
Yeah, so if you're wondering what Furious is doing, he's actually doing it in two orders. So normally to get through is 3, 2, 1. But to get the item in the very bottom left, it's 1, 2, 1, 3, or 2, 1, 2, 3. I guess am I actually wrong? Where oh no. Yeah, so it's you have to have
I think he's trying to save movement by doing this. I don't know if this is actually if doing the reset there is actually faster.
I
What
normally
isn't
just
is that-
grab the
so
items and enter and exit. So
Also, this is interesting because what I actually didn't realize this, but apparently it looks like resetting the game actually resets the state of the room.
oh, does it not? I mean, he saved before he hit the switches,
Oh, maybe not. Huh?
so I don't think it resets the state of the room. But if you do
Oh, yeah, I see what he's
walk
doing.
down the stairs, it resets the state of the room.
Yeah. Well, like, but what this is actually interesting what he's doing because then this does save him some time from going up and down the stairs.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't think of that. I just usually just kind of take it and
I do this thing. Well, we can't turn that in because we have access to saffron.
Yes, we can turn it in.
Could be something, could be nothing.
A couple of escape rooms down here. The rockets are very, very clumsy.
I think the director will pick up one of them.
Well, he's getting tied up at the moment. Although he does give us a candy, and that's a squirt bottle. So, the interesting thing is that, there are some items hidden by, or locked by rock smash, but rock smash is not in logic until you get the squirt bottle, because you can only buy rock smash at the
Once
shop.
Yeah,
once you've done the squirt bottle quest.
Once you've done the squirt bottle quest and talked to the guy.
And received the item.
Yes. But so that's actually a very big find for Fierce, because that means that now he can get up into this upper part of Johto. And this is probably the area that has the most item checks in the game.
Yeah, so if he was he did that, but what he could have done is he could have flown to Violet and it would have been a little bit quicker.
It would have been faster to go from Violet, yeah. Actually, it would be
it's not a big deal.
More than a little bit quicker, I would say. It's a lot faster. We still don't have Surf though, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah. Although, I think is Furious thinking about buying Rock Smash or not? Oh yeah, he wants to go into Equity first.
You can always just fly back to get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So it's not much of a loss for him. So one of the big questions right now, though, is where's the Surf HM?
Yeah. So, I don't know if Recur is as familiar with how to get that item in the bottom left. I don't think he's done that many of these, so it seems like he's... Oh, he's figured it out now. Oh, almost.
I always just look this up, because I can't remember it, and so I just, every time I do this, I just sort of open up Wikipedia, and I just look up what the sequence is. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, so it looks like he's a little tripped up here, which is important because there's nothing there.
Yeah, but you never know. I think he might give up on it, but... We'll definitely ask him later.
Yeah, it looks like he's giving up. Well, fortunately there's nothing there, so... no issue with skipping that.
Sorry, I spaced out. I don't think, was there anything important? I didn't.
I don't think we got anything, because Fierce was just doing some shopping.
Right.
Did he check Item Finder? He
Yes,
checked
did.
Spirit Item Finder, right?
Yes, he did check Item Finder.
Okay, yeah. He went, then he would decided to go get, he wanted to get Rock Smash because there is, of course, a Rock Smash locked item here. We do have a few extra gems also available now because of Squirt Bottle, because we can now do Morty, and since we have a Secret Potion, we can also do Jasmine.
I think Recur forgot that there's one more item in Market Base of it, but luckily there's nothing. It's not important.
Yeah. You may actually be looking at the tracker right now and realizing that there's an item.
I don't know what tracker he's using or whatever, but it's okay. Probably just kind of right, but it's very easy to just kind of right click and mark all the locations obtained. If you're being a little bit careless. Yeah, sorry, the bot command is more for key items. We don't have pretty close. Since the goals are still the same, it's just more items are randomized.
The goals are the same. The scale is a bit different. But so, Snowbird, where do you think the survey gem might be?
To be honest, I really don't know. I mean, at this, I don't remember.
That's the point. You don't remember stuff. I mean, my bet is that it might be in Lighthouse.
I think that's a strong bet. I think my guess is going to be something Mount Mortar. Maybe, because although we don't have strength yet.
Yeah, we can only get 2 items in Mount Mortar right now.
I suppose I'm betting that we'll have the plane
Yeah.
which would unlock another 4 items.
And Bakura showing off the invisible rival. Because we fought rival in the basement before fighting rival here, he mysteriously disappears and becomes invisible.
I think both Furious and
They both have it, yeah. They both have to have it because you had to fight rival there first to actually get here in the first place.
definitely one of the more interesting glitches you see when you're doing a randomizer. I mean, we also did see the police officer, the undercover police officer.
Yeah, the girl who morphs into the police officer. And we have flies, so we may also see the spinning rivals in Olivine, because there's this other skip involving rival where essentially when you enter Olivine, if you use fly to enter Olivine, you can skip the cutscene that shows up when you first enter Olivine, because your rival comes out of the gym. So this saves a little bit of time, but it also does some really, really funny sprite glitches that we may get to see.
Definitely. I really love it because it changes the male swimmers to rival sprites. And so there's one that's kind of stating, you guys may be familiar with the Jesus rival if you've kind of watched enough of these, but it also changes the ones by Whirl Islands as well.
And those are much more entertaining because it's tough to say those rivals spin.
Yes. When I first encountered that part of the glitch, I was highly amused.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even 40 gets plain badge though. At least I would consider doing Olivine here, just because it's also a badge.
And it looks like we have our roamers from Bakura, shown off by Bakura. I don't know if anyone around guessed what they are. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. I think I know what one of them might be, but that's okay.
Yeah, actually, I have Sandy on the stream, so I don't know which ones they are. I'm gonna refresh my stream right here, just since they're both in the middle of doing a lot of fights. Or wait, is Furious on Morty?
Yes, Furious is on Morty.
No, said yet.
He's in the gym right now. He looks like he's having no problem. Just cleared more. Which gave the Zephyr back.
Yeah, so that's all the dark rooms into logic.
But it's also interesting, he also got the good run. Which is also interesting, there's that miracle scene, guys. So when you're playing the game, he stops you if you don't have the mystery egg. Or haven't picked the mystery egg from Elm 8. So, when you talk to him, he'll give you the miracle suit. But actually, he only gives you the miracle suit if you have the Zephyr badge. So that's an item check that they were not able to do until just now. So it's one of those checks that could be easily kind of missed or forgotten.
Yeah, it also puts Rock Tunnel and Dark Cave into logic.
Both of them, actually.
Yes.
It even puts Route 46 into logic as well.
Yes, I mean, I consider that part of Dark Cave, to be honest.
I mean, true. Looks like Furious is not going to be doing the glitch with the spinning rival, with the rivals, because he just triggered the cutscene.
It is actually faster to do.
I do it for swag.
I mean, yes, it's swag, but it is also a few seconds faster. Because you can make it, because you don't have to have that cutscene ever play. We'll see if the core does it or not.
Still not getting that many great TMs, but
I mean, the Mart TMs were pretty good.
yeah. Not gonna lie. Oh! Looks like Bakura's finally got enough happiness.
At long last, finally, Crobat.
He's actually got now a much better ping.
Yeah, Crobat is actually a huge stack upgrade from Golbat. It gains like I think like at least like 20 or 30 disrespect stat, and it also gains a crap ton of speed. Its defenses are I think a little higher.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't know Golbat's stats enough.
I don't know them very well either, to be honest.
Tingle lives on 1 HP. I'm amazed. At plus 6. I mean, yes, it's just a throw out 1, but
I'm a little surprised that Bakura is using Raw here at plus 6. I would just maybe use Strength.
I think he's trying to but
That's actually an interesting point, yeah. Raw is really PP efficient. But it does have a miss rate, so it can sometimes be a bit.
looks like I think he hit probably all 5 there.
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, so we're still missing the badges that we actually sort of want to have, because we don't have plain badge or fog badge.
Although I'm gonna bet that maybe the fog badge is on Jasmine, because they've had the secret potion forever now.
I mean, Snowbear could also be Surge.
That's true.
Because Surge is still around. At this point, it's basically a 50-50 between whether fog badge is on Jasmine or Surge.
Actually, it could even be
Let
on
me
Sabrina.
Well, it can be on Sabrina.
They have access to 7 badges.
Before we named his Crobat. Yeah, the other possibility is that there is one other gym leader that can have fog badge, which we rarely see, and that's Claire.
That's just evil. I've had it happen to me before, but it's
that may seem confusing to some people who aren't familiar with these types of runs. The reason is that in this particular mod of Crystal called Speed Choice, Claire just gives you her badge and TM without you having to go to Dragon's Den, which means that we can get to Claire without Surf or Whirlpool.
Yeah. It was done to sort of make things convenient.
It's faster.
For bingos and stuff like that.
Well, also just because it's faster.
Yeah. Nobody really likes going into Dragon's Den.
Because you have to go into Dragon's Den, you have to do the quiz. And it's a long cutscene, and people don't like it.
Looks like we're not gonna have any Jesus Rival today for either of our runners. Bummer.
That's a pity. Both our racers today have taken a suboptimal route.
Looks like Furious, I guess. Oh no, Furious had to hit that trick. So, here's the interesting thing about getting that full item. When you got the full item, that's actually TM. You actually have to fight a trainer either on the top or the bottom. I prefer fighting the trainer on the bottom because he's got one less Pokemon. Yeah. But the downside is there's more walking distance around.
Yeah, so Furious's route may actually be faster here just because he's so high level, so he can just one-shot everything.
I see Jasmine knows the way. That's Crobat.
Yep. Everyone has a Crobat.
I'm surprised that, I mean, I guess Thundershock is still probably his strongest move when it's super effective.
It should be around base 120 power. because it's double damage and also the same type of attack bonus, which is 50%.
That just feels really odd, I'll be honest.
Did Furious Self, is that canon to him?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Because if he technically, if he kept that, he could have tried teaching it before like Red. And upgrading his stat move.
I don't know if that's really an upgrade, I'll be honest.
Well, he can use an X accuracy at that point. I don't think I saw what it was. Earth Badge. Right, so that means Fog is either Sabrina, Surge, or Claire. In some respects, Claire might actually be one of the better options here, just because if it is Claire, then his card key's also going to have to show up.
I mean, I suppose that would go, then we would be almost in go mode then.
We'd
We're
be
only
going-
missing Surge and card key, although we could, as we had cautioned before, we may, depending on the item location, we still might need Whirlpool or Waterfall.
Well, Snowbird, if the last time is Surf, then that's impossible.
Oh, right. Duh.
Because you cannot use Whirlpool or Waterfall if you don't have Surf.
I think I forgot to show, because we definitely beat Morty, and I don't remember what badge Morty was. I'll check his track.
Wasn't Morty Zephyr?
Oh yes, it was. Okay, so I just forgot to mark the good rod on his tracker. Although I think Furious didn't mark it on his good boy good rod.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because he doesn't. So, like,
It's not.
a number of the things on the tracker, because aren't useful. Like, the coin case doesn't do anything in this. Item Finder doesn't do anything in this. Moon Card doesn't do anything.
It is correct that Traysander, it outruns pretty much everything. So what's interesting here is that if you fight the shiny and then come on to go to do this post maze, on the very left side, blocking hidden item, you're never required to do it. There's a trainer that appears. He only appears once you've defeated the red Gyarados, which is really odd, but
The other thing about this, though, is because this area is Lake of Rage, even though Furious hasn't gone up to the actual lake, he can fly to Lake of Rage from here. And that's the super run. So that is the wait.
so this Route 44.
Oh right, we don't have. I forgot we don't actually have Surf.
Yeah. So Route 44 here is locked by 7 badges. There's a Rage Candy Bar guy who will block you if you don't have 7 badges from doing this. And there's still a couple items here in Ice Path that you can get. So
Yeah,
most
we can
of the
get
time,
2 items in Ice Path.
yeah. So most people are familiar with getting the waterfall you check here. But there's one more you get from just falling down a hole or taking stairs.
Yeah. I have. We'll see if this is progress or not. I mean, at this point, Rock Tunnel and Dark Cave probably have the most checks available.
Yeah, Rock Tunnel has 5 checks, and
I think, yeah, and Dark Cave is about the same. Dark Cave is like 4 plus Revelation 6.
well, they checked one, but yeah, so
Yeah, so it's like it's
just so it's about 4.
so there's nothing in Ice Path. So the question is, where is Furious going to go next? It is also possible that, because like one of these gym leaders most likely has Plain Badge.
Yes, hopefully we see Plain Badge, because that will open up a few more checks.
I actually think it may have to, unless Plain Badge is in West Kanto. Because Claire cannot have Plain Badge. You need Strength to both to go through Ice Path and to do her gym puzzle.
Correct. Wait, Doofer?
To do her gym puzzle.
Oh, do her gym puzzle. I was like, what? Like, I think that's the wrong gen there.
Right. Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Furious do Dark Cave?
He got the one item there, I believe.
Or, sorry, no one's done. I was missing.
No one's gone there, as far as I can tell.
My brain wasn't thinking right. Did anyone do Rock Tunnel? No one's done it yet, right?
No, but Bakura is doing it right now.
Yeah, so we'll find out if there's something.
But he is doing it right now.
Yeah, no, I know he's doing it right now.
Although Furious is doing Sabrina, which is SS ticket. That actually just got added recently into the randomizer, so that is an item in the item pool now as well. For the
there is an item. There is an item on the boat. Even though we don't need to take the boat to get to Kanto, we still might need the boat to get the item on the boat.
I think Bakura's not as familiar where the items are, but he's getting them.
They're not too bad. Yeah, it looks like he's looking a little bit. I think, if I remember right, he only has one item left to get, which is this one.
Yes, he got all 5 items there. And it looks
so
like...
that is not. So there is nothing in. He's gonna fly out. It looks like. Though he does actually have enough escape ropes, so.
I mean, you can always buy more, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Sabrina's giving a little bit of trouble there to Furious, but he's getting.
It looks like he looks like he's managing.
It's taking a little time, but.
Those icy ones are unfortunate because that means you want her to be in the next one. But it's a Nidoqueen, so as long as it doesn't... Oh, actually, never mind. Nidoqueen is apparently that slow.
I think he might have used a guard spec to prevent...
That would help. And Sabrina is the Fog Badge. So that's a nice pickup for Furious, though he still needs to actually find where Surf is.
Gosh, quest for Surf, I didn't realize it would be this brutal. It looks like Furious is saying, look, I'm going to defeat the Mewtwo, one way or another.
Honestly, I still would have picked the other trainer knowing what we know, because we know that the trainer has a Chansey, which is good EXP, and I'd rather take the level 33 D2 than the level 37. Looks like
Bakura did get that item, although I think he might have still not gone... Mewtwo had Fire Blast? Oh gosh.
It's quite a Mewtwo this time.
Yeah, no, it's... Boy. It's... You know, we always joke, we kind of say that the stuff is kind of evil, but...
This is pretty bad, yeah.
I
The real problem is once it runs out of Fire Blast, it's going to start clicking Bone Rush, and Bone Rush is actually a better move right now than Fire Blast. But the Mewtwo, hopefully the next one is also not a Mewtwo.
Oh, I can tell you it's still on Mewtwo.
Nope, it's a Ho-Oh. That trainer's team is quite stacked.
Luckily, it hurts itself. It's using Thrash, so it has a chance of hitting itself in confusion.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ho has a very high special defense stat.
Yeah, it's got 154
yeah.
special defense. It's
Yeah.
And Bakura is
doing Dark Cave. This is probably a good call. It looks like Bakura's focusing more on item checks right now because he realizes that without Surf,
It's a funny Rock Smash Pokemon to find.
that is a funny.
It would have been better if he found it earlier, but.
I mean, it's still worth a lot of EXP right now. Listen's always worth a ton. And here's the starting search.
puzzled by Bakura's route through it. He's up and around, up and around.
He's probably just trying not to miss the item that requires going down the ledges.
Yeah, but you can always climb back up. It's true.
There's something on Route 46. No. That really raises the question of where Surf is.
Well, I think it's probably something locked behind strength at this point. Because we've checked.
It could also be false director. That would be really bad. It could be false director. That's never a fun thing to see.
Oh, you're right. It could be.
Yeah, I guess, what badge did Sabrina give? Sorry, Paul.
Sabrina gives
And we're on Surge now, so if he gives us plane, then we can do strength stuff.
Yeah, there.
But it was okay, so it is plane. Okay, yeah, so that unlocks, so now we can actually use strength. It actually doesn't unlock that much. All it actually unlocks is one item in burn power. I think like four in mortar. But the flame badge itself also unlocks one item in goldenrod, which is the vanilla sword bomb.
I think Furious is going right now to check the mortar items.
If you just talk flash, you probably.
Actually, it unlocks more. We forgot. Ice Path.
Right, never mind. It unlocks a ton of items. Because that means we can get to Route 45. We can do Dark Pin. That makes sense now. Yep. So what Fierce is going to do is he's going to go through Ice Path, and he's going to go to Blackthorn. Then he'll probably check the route down, and then he'll probably fly back to Blackthorn and do Dark Cave.
And there's the super. I didn't remember where the super was.
Yeah, it was up here.
I remember marking it. I just didn't remember where it was.
Yeah, it's the vanilla hidden power team. Yeah, so this is actually some pretty good routing from Fierce. Because
I definitely think Fierce has got a lot of good routing. I think Bakura might be trying to figure out what his next step is,
because he hasn't done the gym, so he doesn't know about the fact that that flame badge is available. Yeah, a lot of the time in this, it can be a good idea to do gyms if you can access them, just because the items that you get there can be pretty useful. The badges are useful to have because they give you more checks that you can do.
Yeah, generally you want to go to as much progress as you can. But at the same time, you also want to look at item density, so it's always kind of a balance. And I just realized, just kind of the other day watching, that there's kind of a quick way of getting the item that Fury Magic is going now. You could just, instead of going the way he did, going right and looping around, you can just kind of go left and then down.
So it looks like there isn't anything in Ice Path so far. There's a pretty good chance we're going to see something on the route that Fierce is taking right now. Because he has a lot of checks available to him by doing this. That's the Silver Wing. If we find Surf and Whirlpool, we could get into it.
Mania?
It is level 60.
Looks like Bakura is still very much unhappy with his main.
It is a Crobat. I can't blame him.
Oh no, I don't blame him at all. It's just...
Though, I don't know, Belly Drum kind of makes stats irrelevant. If he saved some PP ups, he could have PP upped Aeroblast, which would be good, because then he could actually use it to sweep most trainers.
It would get one in each, because it increases your PP and that move by 1/5.
Yeah. So realistically, if you use about 2 PP ups on it, you can probably sweep most people with Aeroblast.
Yeah, so you could have had up to 8 PP max on it. they're forgetting something.
No, he missed anything. Did he?
Oh. Yeah, he came in and then went back out and he forgot. You can't get the items on the Blackthorn side.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I am a delay. Yes, I forgot about that actually. So yeah, the sprout is not as good as I thought it was. Because yeah, you have to do Dark Cave. So that means it's not Dark Cave Blackthorn, it's not 45.
It could still be in Burn Tower, and then look at Bakura's side. He fished up the
Whoa!
Mewtwo. He is gonna be super happy about that, especially when he sees the moveset that it has.
Yeah, so Mewtwo is a really good find for Bakura here. It's ridiculously strong. He will save him a lot of time in fights.
Especially since you can get Icy Wind.
And Fire Punch.
Yes. So what does its moveset have? We knew it had Bone Rush, and Fire Blast. Oh, Switch and Fury Cutter. Not as useful, but with Strength and eventually Surf, that'll be no problem.
Yeah. I mean, Fire Blast is actually still kind of good to have.
I think he might.
Did he just do Turbo Bone Rush?
I think he's gonna go buy Fire Punch.
But I feel like he just taught on Bone Rush.
I don't know what he. I didn't pay attention specifically. So Furious is definitely checking all the slots he can, because he's sort of last locationing the Surge.
Bakura does have Lost Item, by the way, if you didn't mark it.
Oh, I apologize. He's had that for a while. I don't remember where that was.
I mean, we're talking about Surf, but we also do need to find Karki. So, Kimono Girls. So, Furious is doing Kimono Girls. You might remember these as where you normally find Surf. We often skip these in Full Item Rando because there are so many other checks that the odds that there's actually something here is like minuscule, and it's 5 fights, so it does take a decent amount of time.
I find myself, I'll be honest, we say that, but then the Soft Sand Girls tend to have something useful as well too.
The Soft Sand Girls are also not so good, but
it's a lot more out of the way than this is.
Yeah. But there are these. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like doing kimonos.
I usually tend to do kimonos maybe on my second or third pass, just because I just don't like leaving something undone.
Yeah. I mean, if you're entering Echo Critique early, the EXP from fighting them can be very good. But the flip side is that it's 5 fights, and if your opponent doesn't do them and there's nothing there, then you are now that much behind your opponent.
Trey, the issue with Fire Blast is not that its damage is bad, it's that it has 85% accuracy, which
85? I mean, 85 is actually fairly accurate. I think Fire Blast is Fire Blast 5 or 10 PP?
It's 5 PP.
Yeah, it's 5. The PP is the bigger issue because it means that you're going to run out of it really fast.
My issue is that it's 85% accuracy, because the joke we have is that 85% accuracy moves are 85% likely to miss. I didn't realize Rollout was a TM, I forgot that was that.
I think before it just sold Aeroblast and then bought
He
Aeroblast.
did, he bought a couple of Fire Blasts and sold them, and then...
Yeah, so it is actually a pay to... Well, I guess Bakura had to teach Belly Drum before he would have gotten any further. But it would have certainly been nice to have on that Mewtwo.
Ah, Surf! At long last!
So
what
it's
a
in...
huge sigh of relief.
I mean, it's actually kind of not a sigh of relief nowhere, because that means that Card Key is now... Because Card Key is now in play. Because like, it would have been nice to find Card Key before Surf. Because now we have to actually find Card Key.
Yeah, I mean, Card Key can be almost anywhere at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Fierce is going to turn the mission part so we can check Snorlax.
I think so. I think that's a good move. Now, the two items we'd rather not see at this point, or the runners would not like to see at this point, are Whirlpool and Waterfall, because those unlock additional checks.
Yeah, we don't have the badges for them yet, though. Is the one thing. So, but it's probably a West Canada. They're probably West Canada badges.
This is like, well, I mean, it's most likely it's either that or Chuck's gym.
Yeah, we have now actually unlocked Chuck's gym. There's not a lot of items inside with though, at least in full item. So usually people can help.
There's 3 items. Yeah, and I approve this the teaching circle for Ice and Water have very similar coverage.
Yeah. And the power difference is also quite significant.
Not to mention the Ice misses. Which
Yeah.
It's not as big of a deal, but it is very inconvenient.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, I think, actually the highest base power move that he has at this point.
It's 95 base power.
Yeah.
Move. Although I'm surprised he's not flying. Oh, I see why. He's getting checkbox tunnels, probably. From behind. Because he's never been there.
Yeah. This isn't a bad way of running it. Though it probably would have been faster here if he actually went through rock tunnel and stuff.
I mean, yeah. So if you're wondering what a typical time finish is, it really, for these, it can really vary. It can go between about 2 hours to 4 hours for kind of experienced runners.
Well, 4 hours. So 4 hours is picking up every single item in Crystal.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which generally doesn't happen, and it's more specifically, it's picking up every item in Crystal with Fly being on like Fly and Storm Badge being on really annoying places.
Yes.
Usually most times are around 3 hours. The fastest possible speed is technically actually faster than key item. And the slowest possible speed is still probably around 4 hours.
I look forward. I definitely like all the changes you've done, or like all the different settings you've done. It makes it highly customizable, kind of to what you want, what things to be in logic where.
Yeah.
Although, I do hope that kind of, I don't know if you're going to do it, I think we talked about it before, but having just badges on the ground, that'll be a real mind warper and hard to get around to.
It'll be done at some point. It'll be done at some point, but the logic is very complicated. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. I think it's just such a mind warping thing, because there's so many items that suddenly become not necessary.
Yeah. We're getting to that center. But getting the Pokegear cards in first is what comes first. Looks like Akora is double checking his badges. Probably trying to confirm that yes, he doesn't actually have the Poke badge. And he's also doing commanders.
So right now he's looking for anything in progress.
Yeah, I mean, in his position, I would consider doing badges though, because I mean, you have all those 8. I mean, you're looking for plain badge because you know it's going to unlock a lot.
Fierce is taking an interesting route there. The simple route is just when you're going out from Route 12, it's simply go down 2 tiles, then go straight across.
Yeah, I think it's faster just to fly Burger from Lillian in this case. I think that the route that you did is only faster if you don't have fly.
That Gyarados is mighty mean, but she's only Mudslap.
I mean, with Surf, Gyarados has a stab, and Strength is pretty good on it too, but...
I mean, it doesn't have great special attack, but...
Special attack's better than you think.
I think it's like 6, I think it's like 7.
It's higher than 6, I think it's 80.
I mean, it's got like 100 attack though, so...
It has that 130 attack, or like 125.
I don't know this test. items, so these items on Route 2 are a little bit tricky, especially since we have backwards cannon, although it's not, clearly it's not happening right now, but you can get these items in kind of different ways. And there's two of them, there's one item, this item you can get right now is locked, always locked behind cut, no matter which way you go.
Fortunately, we have cut, so no issue. Yeah, so at this point, Furious is just looking for a card key.
He's hoping that it's not going to be anything else required, or do you think card key is? Because it can be almost anywhere. Oh no.
So my bet is that it's Waterfall locked in Mortar, just because there's so many item locations there.
Alright, well, Furious is being very bold, and this is what I call a means to location. He's checking the item on Route 4.
Yeah, so to talk about, every randomizer has some locations that aren't so good. E4 is one that many people are probably familiar with because the vanilla SS ticket requires you to fight E4. This is also very bad. Route 4, there's one item on Route 4. It doesn't sound so bad until you realize you have to go through Mount Moon. And in Mount Moon is Rival 6.
There's also a bunch of optionals.
You have to dodge a ton of spinners, and on top of it, there's a trainer another trainer before the item. So this is a very big gamble on Furious's part. If it pays off, it would be huge. But most likely it doesn't pay off, so Bakura is probably going to make up some time here. I personally would have probably done Pulse Director before doing this.
I last location this for a reason. Although...
This is probably the only location in the game where if the only locations left are this and E4, you would actually have to think about which one you would pick.
Indeed. I think it's... Was it in a race we had one time that... between the boat and this?
Yeah, you would do boat before this, because boat is a much faster fight than this is.
Right, but it's still just... These are neither checks you would rather do.
I should note that Furious is using Thundershock. I don't know why, because it's definitely weaker than his other moves. He has Psychic.
Regardless, he made it through.
Still gonna take his trolling a little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, Disable is really...
Yeah, so that's the first trainer that you have to fight to get through this area.
Probably the harder one. Oh, wait, Mount Moon has level 6 Pokemon? I didn't realize it was that low!
I mean, what did you expect? It's Mount Moon. It's always had level 6 Pokemon.
Well,
Actually, I think it has
I know they changed...
I think it's actually a bit higher. I think it actually is a bit higher in Gen 1, actually. The Flame Badge. So now he's probably going to take a little bit of time to actually find Surf, because the places where you expect Surf to be are not where it is. But it looks like he's doing Sabrina first, and this is a good choice. Because this means he'll get his Fog Badge. So I think we need to...
Yeah, no, it looks like we got double mods.
You have mods in this chat, right?
Yes.
It looks like there was indeed nothing on Route 4. Oh, that was actually some interesting. That was actually kind of neat bit of routing from Furious. So he did Route 4, and then he just went into Sterling. That may actually be faster than going into the menu and flying. Well, no, it's not faster. Fighting Rival 6 is bad, don't do it. But it does... It's faster than doing that check and then just flying at the end.
Oh no! That Felicity has double team as well. Although it's using Rain Dance, so... And...
I mean, at this level, he'll eventually get through it.
But...
Having X accuracy would be a good idea.
Although, it was very nice to him, healing him twice.
Yes, healing. Yeah.
It's...
I mean, the Rain Dance is also actually boosting Surf, so... Let's see. And Bakura just got his Fog Badge.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry. This hunt for the card key in Surf has really been something, I say.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not over at this point. Because card key is the other item that can basically be anywhere. Places that can't be are the items you get for beating Radio Tower, and it's not Claire's TM. It's not in Dragon's Den.
Yeah, so it's not quite as restricted as Secret Potion, but it's still pretty restricted.
You mean unrestricted?
Or, yeah, it's pretty unrestricted. Although, it looks like Bakura is heading in the location to where it is actually relatively quickly.
Yeah, this is a good. So like, he's probably like, this is a smart thing to do. It's like you don't have to check this location. It's like this is a fast location to check. So like, there's no reason. I mean, like technically, it's a little less efficient to do this before the other check, but like it's pretty small. So I mean, this is a pretty good, safe gamble to do, and it's going to pay off for him really big here because he's going to get Surf.
Although it looks like he's not teaching Surf right now. So. I wonder if he's gonna check out Mount Mortar stuff next.
I would order next. Because there's the items in the basement are really, there's a lot of them. He's right here. But I mean, he has fly, so he can be wherever he wants. He's gonna do Mahogany Rockets.
I mean, I hope he does Mahogany Rockets.
Never mind what he's doing. So it looks like even though Bakura did make that gamble and it paid off, he is still doing sup. Okay, he remembered about that.
Yeah, I don't think Furious got it because he checked the items.
He didn't have Surf, so I mean if this is card key, Bakura will be in go mode. And Furious probably won't get here for a while. But it's not.
It was just a revive, so.
Yep. Yeah, but Bakura will also be able to do Blackthorn Arcade.
Yes.
So actually his route is paying off now.
Assuming if it's there.
I mean, it gets more checks out of the way. And I mean, we know, and that's an area that Fierce hasn't checked, so... It could be card key, it could be whirlpool.
Well, I'm surprised Bakura hasn't taught Surf to his Mewtwo. He taught it to his HM friend, but...
It looks like he's going for a physical Mewtwo. I mean, it does kind of make sense to do it because, like, you have to pick which type of X item you're going to use. So if he's planning on using X attacks, then he is good. I mean, Mewtwo's base attack is like 1/3, so.
Did Furious save before the other guy, or did he not trigger the Nugget guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see if he checked it or not.
He checked. It was an iron.
Back you walk and grab that. But it's kind of minutia.
Yeah. So Misty's, I mean, at this point, Fierce is pretty strong. And what kind of Rando Misty has to start with? Or Misty leads with a start. She leads with one in Gen 1. Always a time loss when AI uses Sandstorm.
It looks like he's gonna make it forget strength. Although, I mean,
It's not a... I'm surprised the Bakura values rollout this much.
I mean, I don't know. I'm surprised. I don't know if he remembered that Fire Punch was his other mark, but...
I mean, he might know and just doesn't want to have to go back and get it. I mean, like, if he goes up, it's gonna be a pretty long trip.
Well, that's definitely an interesting shiny there.
We'll see. Ah, it's yet another Mewtwo.
And apparently it had Jump Kick that it had forgotten once it hit level 33, but...
Yeah, I don't think you would main switch to this Mewtwo, partly because it's too low, and partly because you do not want to have the shiny animation playing every single fight.
I mean, but it's a Mewtwo.
It's a Mewtwo.
It's a little low at the moment, but it is a Mewtwo. If he had found it earlier, I would have still considered it.
It's like the 4th Mewtwo we've seen this season.
I do like Furious doing the rockets, though. It is a good choice.
It is a good choice. And Bakura's doing, Silent Void, which isn't, I mean, it's not ideal because there's not a lot of checks here, but I mean, it is required. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it at this point. It looks like Fierce is not, or he's checking this first.
So I guess we're gonna be in kind of the press A simulator right now.
Well, those characters have actually synced up, which is... wait, no, sorry, not thinking. No, our runners are not synced up.
Oh my god, no.
I didn't say that. Never mind. But I'm pretty sure Bakura will do rockets after shot.
Yeah. I am amused that our runners are mostly avoiding the order at the moment, especially since there are at least 9 items for them to pick up.
Yeah. I mean, Furious can do it right after rockets, so...
There's also
I mean,
the 10th item, around 42 item outside.
yeah. I mean, it's important to remember that, like, from a practical standpoint, I mean, if Party shows up here, Fierce isn't going, so he doesn't have to do that. So it always makes sense to do this first before you do Mortar.
No, of course. You know, but it's also a question, you know, it's progress versus item density is always the thing. Like, for
Right,
example,
but
they
in
still
this case,
have what I like
it's
to
no
call...
guarantee. I was just saying, in this case, the progress has actually a pretty good item density, because there's about, like, 10 items in Rocket Hideout. It's about 9 or 10.
I mean, it's still a lot. I don't know, absolutely. But there's also what I like to call Le Grand Tour, which is going Slowpoke Well, Union Cave,
Yeah.
both chambers.
And they haven't checked any of the chambers, and that is a total right now of about 10 items, I think?
12.
12, because they haven't done Union Basement. But I mean, it's probably best to take care of this first. Because I mean, both of the things they're doing are progress. They have to do it no matter what, so there's no time lost for doing that.
Yeah.
There's never anything, of course, gonna have trouble with chat.
What?
Actually, your heads by now, it's probably already over. Chat is
Just finished track.
yeah. A level 47 Mewtwo is a kind of nice thing to have when you're fighting Chuck.
Yeah. I think both of our runners are going to be in the same place. Not quite yet. I do like how vastly different routes our runners have done. Just
Yeah. I mean, I'd say that's also pretty typical for full item. I mean, there's so many different routes you can take that that pretty much always are people are going to end up taking different routes, at least to some extent.
yeah, but you have to remember though. I mean, Surf locks so many items away that
Yeah.
I mean, even with Surf not having Surf, we're still taking vastly different routes.
Yeah. Yeah, so we should see them syncing up on the sooner side, unless before it decides to do the actual gyms in West Kanto.
I'm sorry, I'm starting to be a little bit on the later side. I know it's just the morning, but I'm a night person, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm well aware that you're nocturnal.
Not for choice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I mean, the real question is, so Pecora probably does rockets after this. If you wanted to do like a really dangerous play, you could start doing the West Kanto gym leaders.
Also, do you remember what Jim Misty gave? Jim Badge Misty gave?
I'm not.
It
Here
looks like it was the mineral badge looking at his tracker.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, so mineral badge isn't a progress badge. So that is possibly good news. The longer we don't see
I'm sorry, guys, for not marking it sooner. I started tuning out. It's not because I'm forgetting myself.
following it because there's two people, so it sometimes can be hard to track them both. But yeah, they really don't want to see Glacier or Rising Badge right now, because that means that then they may have to do one of the areas with Scorp or Warble. But at this point it may not even matter, because unless Claire has one of those two badges, we can probably access one of the gym leaders that has those badges. Oh, did we just find it?
Yeah, so you just well, luckily they don't have Glacier badge yet, so it's not logic.
I mean, Price will always have a Glacier badge. That's vanilla. I mean, Whirl wouldn't be that bad right now either. I mean, Whirl is like 10-ish checks to do.
Right, but then there's also
Order and
you also have to check on Route 27. Actually, they would have both checks on Route 20. They have access to.
They have access to 27. They don't have access to Dragonstone. Also, it's extra 26, but
Yeah, I mean, so there's a couple of really troll items, and notoriously troll is the item on Route 27 that's on that
The
uses
sword,
Surf Below Tojo, and
yeah,
well, actually both of the ones on Route 27 are troll.
the one that you Surf Below Tojo is not troll. It's just one that people forget. It's out of vision. The Solar Beam TM though is a troll because it's on the route to Victory Road and just happens to be behind a whirlpool.
Yeah.
Which is fine in vanilla, because like you have Whirlpool and you're like, cool, I can get this and it's a TM. But in item rando, it's not so good, because you're gonna get there and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't have Whirlpool, and then you're gonna orphan that check. So I don't think Fierce is checked, but Bakura is checking right now, because this is a surplus check. He hasn't checked that because that requires surf.
Yeah, you didn't check the item on Route 12. I'm actually curious right now what those electrodes are that Furious is supposed to find. Well, we do know there was a giant angry snake blocking
the machine part and things he thought he had. Cool.
It's like we had Ivysaur as the first electrode.
Yep.
And then our
I mean, he's using the tracker, so he will eventually find it, probably.
I mean, even if he doesn't, because it's not an item that was required.
So he won't be missing anything. Technically, he'll save time.
I missed what the third electrode was. I saw it was an Executor, and then...
Isn't it this, the Dratini?
Oh, sorry.
Being behind you on the screen actually has an advantage here.
Ah, yes, he's grabbing the item in the gate. People are notoriously forgetting that with Bingo's stuff, the rocket's already done, so you can grab the gatehouse TM. But as the vanilla game, it only unlocks once you defeat the rocket and Mahogany.
Yep. So now we'll see if Bryce has one of the badges that we need. If he has Glacier Badge, like he does in Vanilla, that will obviously unlock Whirl Island. But at this point, we're starting to actually clean up most of the checks in the game. There's actually not too many locations left if you think about it. So we'll probably see Card Key fairly soon, in the next like 10 or 20 minutes.
Well, hoping so. Other than that, it might drag on for another hour.
I mean, so it won't drag on for an hour because E4 is because since they're doing E4, they aren't doing the E4 skip. Doing E4 is not going to be that bad if it actually ended up being at E4.
Did run out of Thunder Punch TMs? Oh, no, Fire Punch.
It's probably just getting hit by pieces. I think Bakura's doing Brock right now. Yeah, so he's doing. Yeah, so Bakura's actually doing the West Kanto leaders. So that's Volcano Badge. The real question here is, does he do Blue? Because Blue is, without question, the strongest of the gym leaders by like 12 levels.
Well, he's got 3 level 58s. The highest gym leader, so the second highest.
The second highest is
Blaine with a level 50.
Yeah, and then like the rest of the Kanto gym leaders have like 46 as their top. I think Sabrina actually has 48.
Yeah, Sabrina has a 48, Misty has a 47. Brock, I think his highest is only his 44.
He's one of the
highest is 39.
Yeah, Brock is the weakest of the. Well, that's the red scale. So Bakura's just found the red scale, which can be turned in to obtain the vanilla EXP share.
Well, no, we already found the XP share on the ground, so it's definitely not going to be vanilla.
It's not, but the item is originally an EXP share.
Furious is doing now more detections, which is what I like to see.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, this is the most likely place to check.
Skip the item in the bottom right there.
I'm on a delay, so we'll find out. He's fighting a hit on top right now. Yes, Furious has missed him.
So it's very easy to skip the items if you're not aware of where the items are.
I mean, I've never missed that item, to be honest with you. I think he's probably thinking that he needs to finish quickly. So the stretch probably just got him, and that's why he's missed it.
I'm hoping it's not anything needed.
I mean, you're basically saying you're hoping it's not hard. If he's using the tracker, he will notice that he's one check short.
I think the tracker might show 6 to the bottom bar rather than 5. Looks like he's doing. He's gonna go on my favorite Grand Tour.
So hopefully that isn't a thing. This is probably actually one of the better plays right now as well, just because there's so many items here. He's stocking up on more escape ropes. He's probably gonna eat them. He's cleaning up some inventory space as well. What did Bakor get from Blink?
He got the Rising Badge.
Okay. I didn't see Bakor's fight, but
It was
I'm
very
assuming
quick.
I'm assuming it's pretty easy when you have YouTube.
Most things are easy when you have
Yeah, it looks like Bakor's not gonna do blue.
YouTube. He's turning over his fair share. For a Master Ball, I mean,
It's not a bad trade.
I would take that trade, yeah. And he's also getting the Rising Badge item, which is
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fast.
Master Ball. Let's just jam 10 today.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's probably surfing now to the right? Is he doing the items to the right of the park? I am out of the
Which one?
Is Bakor doing the items to the right of New York? Okay.
He's just turning in that one.
So now he's doing rockets.
Yes, he's doing the range rockets. I think he's catching the glorious Mewtwo. Oh, Furious is reset there. Guess he's saved in the cave. Have to quick check. I do like Furious' reset.
That's actually a really good strat because biking back through the cave is slower.
I sort of.
So this is Bakor's second Mewtwo.
And then Furious is getting to grab the item, so the chain numbers will automatically open him because he's got the water stone in his inventory.
Yeah, and then he can just grab he'll be able to grab the flash chamber immediately afterwards because it's right to the side of this area.
Looks like it's got garbage items today, though.
Yeah.
I've found that I always find it has I tend to see it has a lot of needed items, but today does not.
Yeah. So one thing to note here is Glacier Badge. It's either it can't be Claire, right? Or at card keys in World, it can't be Claire. The other gym leader that Bakor hasn't done is who? Oh, it's Price. Right? Right, and Price is the Soul Badge. So blue might be required as the not last to be done as the not. If blue may no.
No,
Furious
has the card key, so he's in official go mode in 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Yeah, so Bakor does have a few gyms. So if he ends up if Bakor checks there, in time, he might be able to pull out here because he has done Brock and Blue, Brock and Blue. They all begin with B's. They're easy to mix up. And his time on them will almost certainly be faster because that Mewtwo is so much faster than Sampras in terms of stuff, or in terms of killing things. And since E4 is required for this race, Mewtwo is going to have a much faster time through there as well.
Potentially, but yeah, I mean, yes.
But Bakor needs to realize that he should do those checks. And I mean, they are technically fairly optimal to do at this point, so...
I mean, as I said, it's part of the Grand Tour. I'm just glad that neither of our runners have been punished by some of the items they've missed.
Yeah, I mean, that happened because of the large number of items in full item. Usually you don't get punished by the items you miss, but occasionally you do. But that's what the tracker is for. Because there is a tracker for full item, think there's currently 2 trackers. And they tell you where all the items are in the game, and that's very useful because it means that you know how many items are in each location. So it makes this a lot more accessible, because otherwise you would literally need to know every single item, or you need to know where every item is in the game.
It's very hard.
Yes.
I'm just glad we're not including kids in this, because I'll be honest, I only know where like a quarter to a third of them are at most.
Yeah, we don't include hidden items because I don't actually know where they are, so I couldn't even. But yeah, so the main question is whether, but yeah, if Akora does that check in time, he will catch up, and could still win this. So we'll see who comes out on top here.
Curious is in go mode, so he's doesn't have too much to go now. He'll just have Radio Tower, Claire.
Yeah, he finished Radio Tower,
Kanto.
Claire, and then he has to do West Side Kanto.
But he does have a 5-point computer.
He does have the 5-point computer. It'll save some time, and then he'll have to do E4.
But I'm sure he's gonna fight E4
Probably. We'll probably do Blue first. I mean, Blue can still be a fairly trolly opponent because he has 3 level 58 Pokemon. And you're probably not going to reach level 58 by the time you reach Blue. So.
I mean, they do also have rare games, at least a couple of them they picked up. So.
I think Akora's actually already used a few of them on his Mewtwo.
Right.
I don't think I've seen Furious use any rare candies. I think that he used one Revolve.
He used one on the flash initially. Didn't he? Or no, he did not use any. Okay.
Yes, remember you have another message you need to get rid of the chat. There's another pop in chat.
Oh.
Akora talked to the other rocket twice. The other rocket, right? I don't know if I saw Akora talk to both rockets.
I'll be honest, I'm too busy trying to...
I mean, I'll note that I often... Oh.
I'm gonna assume he did.
Yeah. Looks like he was also just a little bit slow there, so he gets that spinner.
Yeah, that spinner is hard because you have to know hesitate.
You have to like, yeah. You just the way you pass him is literally you just move. You don't stop moving, and then as long as you don't stop anywhere, you will make it past him before he turns.
The hardest is the one when you're going back because you have to be holding right as you're exiting the state, like as the screen is transitioning.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find myself kind of spacing out, or when I'm having fun with people and I just blankly hold up, and unfortunately when you hold up, you go right into him.
Yep. Yeah, I don't find it that bad, but I usually play on a keyboard. So that makes those inputs a lot easier.
Right, but there's a lot more. I think there's probably more ability with that. When I was playing with the keyboard, it was always hard to kind of change directions quickly.
Yeah, so before we'll probably check. Probably.
If you're wondering what the mouse that is on the mouse on
Yeah, because Bakura's using the tracker, so... I don't know why he's doing that.
Well, I guess he didn't need to worry about that since you already used them the first time. He did show the optimal movement on the way back.
Yeah.
So with V7, you actually can skip the false director if you have the card key.
Yes,
and
and because of that, you can also skip essentially all the trainers on the third floor. Only one of them becomes required, which saves quite a bit of time.
Yeah. But only the false director himself becomes required if you do after saving the real director. So that's something that normally breaks with the key item rando, because then you'll get, if you try to do it the other way, you'll get a message saying object event, because basically the game doesn't expect you to do it.
Yes, but we fixed that as of the most recent version of Student Choice. So Hydro TM as well, interesting. Not useful, but...
I mean, all the inaccuracies, right?
Was there also...
Fire Blast, Hydro Pump.
Was there Blizzard TM or... Was there a Blizzard TM or was it a lower?
Blizzard moves that the Reika had.
Yeah, I mean, those are all also TMs in vanilla. Wage, Bakura's actually found 2 Mewtwo's.
You see, this is the Mewtwo you got for fishing up the Super Rod much later in the game. The shiny was also a Mewtwo.
Yeah, and Furious got walled earlier because both trainers in Surge's gym had Mewtwo's.
Yes.
There's been a lot.
The one on the right side was Mewtwo into Ho, which was just as mean.
Yeah, I mean, Chansey into Mewtwo is also kind of mean because Chansey is hard to deal with.
He's Chansey and Blissey walled.
Yeah, this ROM hasn't been lacking for Mewtwo's, basically, is what we're saying. Which is unfortunate, because Mewtwo actually has a good moveset.
Well, I mean, Bakura's making full use of it.
Bakura's making full use of it, but for Furious, it was a bit unfortunate, because like he did the first trainer in Surge's gym, and then Mewtwo killed him. He did the second trainer in Surge's gym, there was a Chansey, he got past it, and then that trainer sent out another Mewtwo.
When in doubt, use more Mewtwo's.
Yep. We can have like a Mew 1, a Mew 2, a Mew 3.
I think Furious is probably gonna finish, if I have to guess, within the next probably 25 minutes.
E4 is required, so it could be higher.
Well, that's why I added it to my estimate.
Yeah, because like E4 adds an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then he's got like maybe 6 minutes for Player's Gym. Or sorry,
Yeah.
4 minutes for Player's Gym, and then...
He does have to do Brocken Blade and the movement for getting to Blaine. That's getting to Blaine. The movement to getting to Blaine is like a few minutes.
That's not so bad. I mean, luckily he doesn't have that many trainer fights after this. I think he's got probably 11 or so trainer fights after this point.
Let's see.
He's got 5 in Claire's Gym,
5
2
Claire's
Hawk,
Gym.
Blue, Blaine, that's 7, 8, 9, Elite 4, Rival, that's 14, and then Red is 15, and then there's one more, I think, after his current fight, so that's 16.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Picard could catch up as long as he thinks of actually checking the flash chamber. There's a pretty good chance he does.
I hope he does.
I mean, it is the most dense set of checks at this point. It's technically actually more dense than Mortar even at this point.
Right, well, it's more chance than more because they don't have waterfall.
Yeah.
Soul badge for him.
I mean, the only thing that could potentially mess him up is if he decides to think that if he thinks that Warble is required and does blue, and blue actually has the glacier badge.
I think he. I don't
Oh
think
dear,
Kuro likes
he's doing it.
Whirl Islands at all. So I think his choice would rather be to do everything else and save Whirl Islands for last.
But he's doing blue. And if this is Glacier Badge, I would not be surprised to see him do Whirl. So this might be, the Whirl is still technically less dense than doing the cave and runes valve checks. But
at this point,
the
he
Whirl
might
is
be
probably
checking
faster
road
than
items.
that might not be
Darius is
bad.
winning the lottery. Unfortunately, not lucky today. Unlucky.
Card key was in the Runes of Alph Flash Chamber. Which was especially annoying because Surf was locked behind Strength, and Strength was locked, and Plane Badge was on...
Plane Badge was on Surf.
Was on Surge.
Fog Badge was on Sabrina.
Fog Badge was, yeah. And Squirt Bottle was...
Squirt Bottle was in the basement.
Right. Yeah, it's been some interesting progression this scene. Yeah, so Vicar's doing blue now.
Oh my gosh, Bakura got a Gen 2 miss on Alexibus because he's in Thunder Wave phase. I guess it's not a Gen 2 miss. There's a chance.
The AI has a chance of having moved up.
Right, but so that doesn't
Yeah, it looks like blue hasn't been so bad for him. We'll see how it is for Arrow though, because wait. Furious. Furious is running Arrow. Furious isn't Arrow. Wow.
it's okay.
Mixing up names.
It's okay.
Um,
It's been a long time.
yeah. We'll see how it is for Fierce's Emperos, because Emperos is obviously not Mewtwo. So this Vileplume is trolling quite a bit now.
Yeah, definitely. Trolling him, that's for sure.
Yeah, my bet is that Bakura is probably going to do Victory Road in E4, since it's required.
Yeah, no, Bakura likes to do Victory Road. And goes lots to most people.
I mean, it's an easy area to check early. It does actually have a decent number of items. If you are skipping E4, you can always just escape out at the end before you actually fight Rival. And if you are doing E4, obviously, then you're going to have to go through it at some point, so why not do it now?
Yeah, that's the glacier badge. I hope he's not baited.
Yeah, so this is the question, does Bakura get baited? If Bakura takes the bait, then he's probably going to lose his race.
Well, I mean, I think he's most likely not gonna... I think he's behind already because he's not in build mode. And I don't know when he will check Whirl Islands. Not Whirl Islands, I mean the Flash Chamber.
I mean, he looks like he's going to do E4 now. And I mean, the thing to remember is he is running a Mewtwo, so he is going to have a faster E4 than Furious is.
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, he still has to do rockets, obviously, and also Claire, so that's going to take some time. Then we see Furious doing Claire now, and we know that she has the Thunder Badge.
And what do you know? There's another Mewtwo too. That's great.
Wait, is there really? Okay, so this is Mewtwo number 5.
what? I mean...
Reporters caught a Mewtwo. There's a shiny Mewtwo. There's 2 Mewtwoos in the Surge's gym.
Yeah.
This is Mewtwo number 5. It looks like Bro might be actually skipping some checks in Victory Road.
Yeah, it looks like it. Either that or he's gonna fight Rebel first before doing the checks.
He could go out. Oh, he might exit the cave, go back in, and then that way his escape rope will be at the back exit. That would actually be faster. So I Yeah, I mean he needs to get X. He needs to get X items with what he's running. Like, there's no way Ampharos gets through some of that stuff without having X items.
He's got enough money for it. He had over 100,000 Pokédollars.
Yep. Looks like he's going to try to buy some X accuracies.
It's good that he's buying X accuracies. He bought all of the items he needs. Everything but X accuracies.
We're also just stocked up on some max repels, so...
Oh, I guess he's not doing Elite 4 yet.
So he's just getting the fly point then.
That's not a bad idea.
I think I see what happened. I think Bakura may have run out of repels. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean...
So routing in this is kind of weird, because you need so many, and... in full item, typically the way you run out of money is because of repels.
Okay, so for sure, I think I'm trying to figure out where one last item is in this tracker.
Yeah. If he takes it, he should be able to, because you just go here, and then go down, and then... Wait, yeah, sorry. That's the other one. You go down here. He's not going on the stairs though. Okay, there you go.
This has been quite... Oh, he's checking the items on Route 26 and 27 now.
Yeah, it's not surprising to see those checks because
is that the numbers here are reversed, because 26 is after 27.
Yeah, it is really confusing. So yeah, he's gonna check this. He's gonna check the Solar Beam TM. He's not gonna get anything. Hopefully he doesn't find Waterfall here, because then he would probably check Mortar.
I'm hoping he's not finding Waterfall, to be honest. I do like the music here, though, on this route.
Yeah, it's a nice piece.
I do like it now with some of the bike is to be turned off. But
Yeah.
you can actually listen to it more than just...
Yeah, no, this game has a pretty good soundtrack, I would say. It's just we...
Oh my gosh, that's a body slam TM.
I mean, it's not really much of an upgrade from,
It's 5 power, more power than strength.
I mean, at this point, though, you would have to go back and... Actually, Bakar doesn't even know strength, because he removed it from, YouTube.
Alright, so he's got the whirlpool item. Yeah, he's gonna have to go around, he's gonna have to drop down the ledge to get to the other one. What
Yep.
a weird way to do it. I know we were theory crafting a few ways to get that item. We were worried about soft logging because the badge check, it pushes you down.
Yes, but that is just why it always works.
Bakura's getting this item here, this TM here. That's actually not added to the randomizer. That's just something you get with high happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, happiness items are not included in the randomizer because it's kind of hard to control how much happiness you have. You catch new Pokemon, such as on this route, actually. If, visiting here is actually one of the easy spots to do a main switch. Because they're level 20s here, and if Surf shows up early, it's an easy place to visit. But if you catch a new Pokemon, your happiness will be very low, and it will be very hard to get that item.
Well, I mean, you default got to 70, yeah, which is nowhere near close enough to get high happiness ones, which usually require at least 200, I think, happiness?
Yeah. So Bakura's doing E4 now, it looks like.
Meanwhile, Furious is wrapping up the last of the gym leaders.
Yeah, Furious is definitely ahead at this point. Because Bakura still has to do all of Radio Tower and Black Venom. Possible Blue gives him some trouble. Red could also give him some trouble. And I mean, E4 could give him some trouble. I mean, it's unlikely Bakura has trouble with any of those, is the main thing. Because me too. That's pretty annoying. Luckily it's the Aeroblast, so...
Not a problem. Seems like Furious is dealing pretty well with Pokemon.
Yeah. I think there was a Muck that could be a little problematic, but...
I mean, he's got Psychic. I mean, yes, it is Volt.
He does have Psychic, actually. Yeah, so he'll be fine with that.
I mean, Muck doesn't have a lot of special moves, but...
Well, I mean, like, his Vileplume was the other thing to troll, but yeah, he has Psychic, so he's just going to sort of just tear right through these things.
It looks like Will was not a problem for Bakura, so...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything could be a problem for Bakura.
He might have PvP issues, but...
Possibly. Oh, Muck actually loses the Psychic.
Oh, I mean, it was only +1, so... Oh, that's... let's see.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for Furious, actually, because he does not have any special stuff.
Rock Slide. Yeah, goodbye rollout. Hello, Rock Slide.
That's a nice upgrade. This is
the
a...
best rock type in this game.
Yeah, this is a pretty amazing Mewtwo, actually. But Furious has finished. It's gonna do the it's gonna unlock Mount Silver, probably grab the Fly Point, and he's then going to fight for
About 8 seconds faster to grab this Fly Point at Mount Silver.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an interesting way. Even if you forget rollout, you're still using it.
Aha! We meet again!
This is also going to be bad news for Furious, because if Mewtwo still knows Boom,
No, I think the Mewtwo that, I think it would have forgotten it by now, because... Actually, no.
Bakura's had it in seconds. It was second slot on Bakura's Mewtwo.
Right, which would mean it would have forgotten it at 55, so yeah, no, it should still have Bone Rush.
Yeah, so looks like maybe Furious will have some trouble with people. So maybe Bakura. But it's going to depend on what else we see here. And if Bakura actually thinks of checking the Runes of Elf Chambers.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because Flash Chamber is technically a really fast check if you don't do the other ones as well.
I don't know if that's in his mindset.
Yeah. I mean, what's the thing? Like, there's so many items in there that which one you check is sometimes may just be personal preference.
I mean, I'm always a fan of doing what your hand tool, but
I also like doing it. But I mean, like, the thing is, like, in full item, there can be multiple right answers. It's more apt to say that everyone always makes the wrong, gives the wrong answer. And the
I mean,
question
even if you have the right route, that doesn't guarantee you win.
Yeah.
Even if you have the most optimal item checking.
Well, like, Snowbird, if you just, like, got really lucky and you beelined, like, everything, like, every location you checked had an item, and, like, you weren't checking, like, necessarily, like, the most optimal checks, you would gain a lot of time, actually. But that's never going to happen.
I had from experience, like, sort of, and I was in go mode first, but I was not, for example, the one who was ahead. He quickly got it, but he had done a lot more checks than me. I think that's what happens a lot of times when people do races. Sometimes you might not hit go mode, it just depends on what checks you've done and what's left.
Yeah. Yeah, because at this point, it's a question of does Bakura find card key, and then after Bakura finds card key, does he finish Radio Tower and Claire before Furious finishes Evil?
I think the answer is no.
Probably not.
Because the radio tower takes way too long.
Radio Tower does take a while.
As does Claire's Gym. I mean, Claire's Gym is not that bad. It takes time.
It's probably the slowest gym.
Yes. I believe it's definitely the slowest gym. Because you not only have to do boulder puzzle, you also have to fight trainers. It's 5 fights.
Bakura's home minutes now.
Got a good down. Of course, all of this can be changed. That remember, Red is fully evolved. And Red
Yeah.
can have anything, including a Mewtwo.
Not yet another Mewtwo. That would be scary.
I mean, remember the level 55 was Fire was Rock Slide. So it still hurt, even if you got hit with Blood Rush.
Yeah, and also Wing. Yeah, the thing is that, like, if, like, the optimal paths are, like, from a statistical standpoint, it's the most items. But, like, the flip side is that a lot of this will be, like, if there's nothing there, checking all those items takes time. So, like, if someone does a one-off check that's faster than checking all those items, they could come out ahead.
Oh yeah, Soft Sand Girls.
Yeah. I don't think anyone likes soft sand girls. So this is the first pussy with double D. It still has a present. Looks like Fierce had no trouble with that, so that's a good sign.
So yes, Bakura resets the correct time, which is once the Pokemon shows. They've had, I think, a couple of people with experience of resetting too soon.
Yeah,
so Elite 4 suddenly becomes Elite 8.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Also, it'd be the Elite 10.
Wait, Elite 10?
Because there's 5. It's the Elite 4, but there's 5 trainers.
Right, sorry. You're right, Elite 10. I think he also set up some special, X-Special.
It looks like Bakura is about to do Flash Chamber, so...
Wow, that's really good for him, then.
Yeah, that's a very good call. He's gonna be glad he did this.
Yeah, no, I'm actually glad he did it.
But yeah, this is a very good call right now.
So, Bakura is now in go mode at the 2-hour 15 mark.
Yeah. And all he has left to do is, clear. Yeah, not even picking up the other item. He's just going straight out.
Well, I mean, he's in go mode.
Yeah.
Whereas Furious has
Probably.
Karen. I keep thinking like, but it's not even right because it's not even the correct position. It's not even the same trainer can maybe yes, Ghost Dark or similar, but it's just.
It's because I think does Karen have a
But I think
Welcome.
it's partly because the rooms they're actually
Oh.
the same.
Karen has a Gengar. I think she also has a Vileplume, doesn't she?
Karen? No, because she has Umbreon, she has Houndoom,
Houndoom. Then she has
Murkrow.
one Houndoom.
I know she has an Umbreon, Murkrow. I don't know what she has. I just know her Umbreon is a troll. Well, more so in the Pokemon Stadium games than anything else.
Yes, Karen has a Vileplume, and I'm pretty sure Agatha also does. No, Agatha does not have a Vileplume. So yeah.
Agatha has Arbok instead, if I remember correctly.
They share Gengar.
Oh, they share Gengar, okay. Alright, Agatha has 2 Gengars there.
Yeah, so Furious is probably gonna finish soon. Victoria's probably gonna finish in like 8
Yeah, I think Furious is gonna get close to
Furious,
its
Furious will definitely suffer. Because he's on Lance now, so he just has to clear Lance. I mean, it'll be close, but I'm pretty sure he'll suffer.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're hoping for no Troll Red. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know, are we hoping
I
for
feel like
Troll Red?
I feel like we are hoping for Troll Red because it's going to be a closer race of these trolls. But yeah,
Transforms into a Dark type.
Red troll, and sometimes does.
So Furious is now officially done with all the fights except for Red. Not now, I don't want to talk to you.
Rose isn't used to being a boy like that because he like thinks he's calling you like outside his house.
Yeah,
Or, like,
but then it's always annoying that it's one step. It's like you
Yeah.
take one step and he calls you. So Furious is not doing it in the dark. No reason to do it in the dark when you know the time is right there, and you never know what if Bakura is gone, where Bakura is. So I don't blame him. Alright. Yeah, it's interesting that his in-game time is 2:45, but
He's done
been
so
many times.
yeah, he's done so many reset strats that his in-game time is like completely off.
And usually it's like maybe 2 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Reset too often.
I mean, he has probably gained a fair bit of time from some of those strats though.
Oh no, absolutely, but it's still kind of amusing to watch how different. And good thing you use that guard spec so that Scary Face does not hit him.
Yeah, that would be bad. Radiant is not a very dangerous thing.
No.
Um,
And it's not
It's like-
especially fast either, unfortunately.
it's not especially anything except special defense.
Clearly, it's living on 1 HP there.
Did Furious use like specials?
Yes. He did not go to +6 there. I think he went like +4, so then he used an additional one.
Yeah, he'll probably be fine.
He also used the next speed, so he should have to beat most things that are not a Aerodactyl, Electrode,
Mewtwo is the dangerous one because Mewtwo, then by that level, Mewtwo won't probably have.
I don't know what Mewtwo has that he doesn't have at that point.
But Clefable has Bone Club.
Luckily, it's not as big of an issue.
Yeah.
Alright.
Break out. That.
Super Fang.
After.
So it looks like yours is having no trouble with the rest of the Pokemon there.
If he's getting a Rake out, he probably will outspeed everything, actually.
Alright. And looks like yours is done. GG's, Furious. And his final time is 2:57.25.
I mean, that's a pretty good time for this.
I think that's a good time considering how Trellis is. We'll bring him in. He's looks like Recurus is done too. He doesn't want to finish, understandably.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable.
GG,
GG, yeah. What was that ROM, dude? I expected worse.
Oh, I had a worse from, which was Grand Tour, but I didn't. This is a weekly. I can't subject you both to the worst of my machinations. Don't worry.
Okay.
I wanted this to be done underestimate, which was 3.5
I
hours.
felt like all of our progression was just in Johto. Like, that's fair. That's fair.
Although, so what did you think about that surf location?
Yeah, like when I saw that, like, oh my god, I'm so far behind. I could have gotten that like at any time.
Well, maybe not with all those Mewtwo's in Surge's gym.
I mean, that as well. Like, dude, what the heck? I saw the one trader like Mewtwo that was destroyed me. So like, okay, I'll go fight the other trader. Nope, it's a Chansey followed by a Mewtwo. So like, okay, I'm just not going to fight Surge now. And of course, he had the plane badge as well. So
yeah. So are you going to pull Picor into the call, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So, Furious, guess what Picor was running? Actually, Picor, you can tell Furious what you were running.
Oh.
Hi. Yeah.
The sound. Hello.
hey, GG.
I don't want to talk about anything.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I mean, I had when you were doing all those checks, you still managed to find where the card key is right after you beat the Elite Four. I'll be honest, that would not have been the immediate check. The Flash Chambers were not my immediate check.
Okay, so a lot happened to me. One, I had a headache during the race, so that kind of threw me off. Two, my full item tracker decided to reset itself, so I had to uncheck everything I got.
Oh yikes!
Oh, no.
That's why I hit the optional in Rocket. And I had the legendary 6 main. Did you see that? I mained so many pokes that race.
What did he main?
First the Togepi, then the Snorlax. I saw a Dodrio, but that killed me. Then I mained the Raycow. Then I switched to the Golbat that evolved into Crobat. Then I fished up Mewtwo, and then there was a shiny Mewtwo.
Yeah, what
I thought it.
Mewtwo is definitely.
When I saw the shiny Mewtwo, like, okay, this is just making fun of me now.
Yeah.
So I, picked up Venusaur obviously as a starter. I couldn't find anything to main in the wild, so I ended up having to stick to the Venusaur. Once I got to Kanto, I immediately went to Cycling Road, the Route 16, caught it Flaffy. 17, whatever. Caught a Flaffy.
Oh, Flaffy, sorry.
Yeah, there's a Flaffy there. Evolved it to Ampharos. It came with Psychic, and with the Fire Punch and Icy Wind TMs in the Goldenrod shop, that just easily became my main. So.
They also had Thunder Shock, but yeah. I was surprised because you both encountered the Flaffy, but Furious, yours was level 33. Procura's was level 32, which was really confusing to me.
Yeah. Interesting.
I never run Fluffy. I think Ampharos is too slow. I was considering if I find a male Pidgey or male Golbat because I ran away from the female Golbat and the male Pidgey on female Pidgey on purpose.
But you still
But then
caught
nothing
female Golbat.
Yeah, because I went to the route next to Fuchsia and nothing existed there. I didn't want to get Venusaur because I don't think Venusaur is as good. And then the Golbat came along and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring you to the 50, I believe. And sure enough, it carried me. Let's go, Sisbet.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Furious, you had that level 2 Mew. Did you kind of give up because it was hard to get to higher levels? Because I think it died quickly, and then you just...
Yeah, in general, I just don't like running Mew. So once it died, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to abandon that and just, I guess, rush Kanto because I mean, at that did we have to pass it? We had to pass at that point, right? It was like the first item we picked up.
Yeah.
So
yes, the pass
Yeah.
was literally the first item you got in the entire
yeah,
game.
yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
so I figured, you know, I'll just try to rush to Kanto to try to pick something off of a cycling road.
Another fun thing, I found teleport early on. I used it
both
a
of
whole
you.
1 times.
You both had it on the teleport Tentacruel.
Yeah, I never ended up using that actually.
I only used it to teleport back to 29 to check the cut, the TMO5 and to end in Kenya. That's the only thing I used it
You guys
for.
got Fly pretty quickly.
Yeah, we got Fly insanely quick. Fly was in basement and on Janine.
We also saw Furious. We saw you.
Go on, ERC.
Let's say we also saw Furious. You did a lot of reset strats because we were noticing the difference between your in-game time and your actual time. And it was like 10 minutes.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what's the best way to go about doing resetting and whatnot. So I figured I'd try some of it here.
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
Furious. Did you have trouble for Surf as well? Because I was looking for that item.
Yeah,
For
I felt like
time.
when I found Surf, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so far behind. He's probably ahead, and I'm going to make some crazy plays in order to catch up. But no, you just had to immediately go Surf to the Flash Room to get Card Key, and that was my go mode.
No. What I did, I skipped kimonos. I went everywhere where I could. I did search before I went to kimonos. I did everything, and I was like, "Oh my, it's probably going to be kimono girls, isn't it?" I did kimonos. It wasn't them. I'm like, "Okay, this is my final check. Else it's an ice path," and it was behind that boulder, and that made me upset quite a bit.
Yeah, same. I put off kimonos until I could at least get strength usage, and once I beat Surge, I think that's when I went to go check those 2 locations.
Yeah, what I tried to do, I just tried to check the items that are on my logical path. So like what are next to the gyms, on my way to Viridian, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I was like, okay, after E4, I'm just going vanilla route. To answer your question, Snowbear, why do I check there first? It's just vanilla route. Check runes first, and then go.
I would have gone to the Waterstone Chamber first if you're gonna do that, or do what I call the Grand Tour, which is Slowpoke Well into Union into into Flash. So no, it wasn't a bad thing. It was paid off for you. That's usually on the end point of my Grand Tour.
I'm so happy it's done.
I was totally hoping for a Surf go mode, like it.
It's possible.
Damn. Yeah, it was possible if Card Key was just.
Because I mean, the worst place for Surf to be is Claire's gym.
Yeah, and I was kind of expecting Fog Badge on Claire, so I'm like, okay, well.
It was close. It was Sabrina.
During the race, I had to look up how to get that one item in the basement because I couldn't figure it out for my life.
It's 1213 or 2.
Yeah, I figured it out because I just looked it up on Google, and I was like, you know what? Either it's something or it's something utterly worthless like potion, and ta-da! It was a potion.
They were both potions.
Items you guys had missed. Furious, I think you missed the bottom right item when you're doing the middle island of Mordor. And then I think you missed the item behind the cave of the Diglett's cave.
Yeah, I know, I missed it.
Okay.
But no, it's only small things. I mean, it comes with a lot of practice and trying to figure things out. So.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
my,
a lot of items.
This was an adventure, all right. Oh my.
I mean, honestly, I'm not too upset. Except I had to run that Venusaur for quite some time. I was upset at that.
I had 5 mains. I was a fully fledged trainer.
Yeah. Here, so one question for you. So you did Route 4.
Yep.
Yeah, you.
That also comes into I found surf so late. I feel behind and I need to make some stupid play in order to try to catch up. I thought that was a good meme, so I'm like, you know what, let's just do that.
I do appreciate that you actually didn't hit any optionals on the way there, because that's actually one of the hardest things to avoid those optionals. Because
Yeah,
it's
like
blind optionals, really.
yeah, I think the last time I did that route, I literally hit every optional except for the person in the grass. So I'm like, this time, like, okay, let's take it slow and make sure I don't hit anyone. And
Although I was giving a good chuckle when you got an encounter there in Mount Moon. I didn't realize
oh
it
yeah,
was level 6.
I like did that out level me or did I just not use repel? I'm like, oh no, I just didn't use the repel. That's it. Ugh, man.
Alright, thank you both for doing this, and if you had
Absolutely.
some fun, well,
I feel energy drained by this run.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, go have some food then, or something.
Like the journey for Remain was quite something, I tell you.
But was it rewarding? You got 2 Mewtwo's.
Man. Thank you guys for commentating, by the way.
Either in the Shrek Cargo thing.
Alright, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both. I don't think I have any other questions. Yersi, do you?
I don't think I have any other questions either.
So definitely thank you everyone for tuning in to watching a kind of a special weekly. Please give our runners a follow. That's Lord Procura and Furious Magic, and please give my fellow commentator a follow as well. ERC, I don't know if he streams as much, but definitely he's been doing an amazing job, and definitely done amazing. He's the one who brought this whole thing together with making the full item randomization. I'm Snowbear22, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
See ya.